came back from the gym, ate, and I was like, if I take a shower, I'm not making this podcast, bro.
Yo, you know what's funny, man? I feel like this shit looks. I guess everything feels like this, but this shit looks easy from the outside looking in. You see people having a podcast, having a good time. I want to do this shit, and you be like, you don't. Especially if you're bodybuilding and like you have a life as well. It's not as easy as you would think, bro. You know,
No.
it's not anything. You know, the episode will be done sometimes. I'm like, bro, it's fucking 3:30, bro. I'm like, oh my god, I got shit to do. You know, but I think I'm gonna just keep it a little bit shorter, just so I can make sure I could keep the consistency and not like
Yeah.
and not
Yeah,
burn
it's
out.
definitely burning out. Like even for me now, I've started prep. I'm feeling it because last week I did this one and then I went on Kenson with EP.113 right after with Xavier and them. And bro, that was like 5-6 hours of my day completely gone. Just podcasting.
It's gone.
And I said, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do that consistently, dude. I don't know.
That shit is tough. I feel like when we used to do it once a week, bro, it was not that it's not fun now, but it was the most fun ever because you're catching up once a week. You always have shit to talk about. You look forward to it. But twice a week, it feels like it's like 2 days. I mean, it's 3 days, so it's basically, so it starts to catch up. I think the way to do that is make it a little bit shorter because I think people want to be stimulated constantly because people are they have this on while they're cooking, while they're cleaning, while they're driving. So I think they just want more content, but it doesn't have to be 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Just because I feel the same way. Like I look forward to new episodes and shit. And if it's an hour, I'm cool with it. I just like to see shit consistently uploaded by different channels, so I could just throw something on, while I'm doing something. So, I think
it's a good idea.
What's that?
It's a good idea. Maybe depending on whichever day it slides, maybe do a live one. Do like a YouTube live podcast instead. So that way, there's the user interaction, the people that are viewer interaction there that could actually, because sometimes there's times we'll go on the podcast and there's literally shit happening as we're on this pod that we don't even have any idea about. So 100%. I think something like that would be cool, to give a different perspective too. But we got to be careful on that one.
I was about to say that because I'm like, yo, if you knew what some of the episodes me and PJ was, sometimes we say, I'm like, bro, we can't leave that in, bro, or me and Compton, but Compton will warn me. He'll be like, he'll be like, well, you might have to take this out. I don't know if you want to or not. No, but I'm definitely gonna take it out, bro. I'm definitely gonna take it out. or no, Stu been good. So I think for our main one, I think we've been pretty good.
The main crew, we now understand where that line is. When we first started, bro, we'd say anything.
Go back to those early episodes, bro. The shit was it was insane, bro. It was insane.
It was crazy.
I think it's more fun that way. But once we realize people are actually watching, motherfuckers actually watching this. Oh, okay, never mind. Chill out. Hey, what's up, Joe? What's up, Alyssa?
Hey.
Yeah. Well, speaking of editing, I made some edits that last episode. It was me right from Alyssa. I think we went too deep into a rabbit hole. Hey, it's all true though. But it's like, listen, this is the thing about the truth. we all want to say the truth, but then you have to respect certain things in life. It's still, this is still YouTube. This is not you. How you talk in a locker room? We want to bring that to YouTube, but there's still boundaries. It is what it is. That's just life. It's just part of life.
Hey man, some crazy shit goes down. I'd be like, yo, Beatty, I don't know those guys, man. I'm not affiliated with that podcast.
I feel like the only thing that's always gonna be left in is if we're just talking about us and our experiences in life. It's just personal shit. We can talk about, but once it brings in other people's business or organizations' business, then I'm like, then then it's not just our business. Then it's gonna bring in other things. So I'm like, nah, at that point, then you got to think about it. But if it's just us talking about, oh, this happened to me, we can say anything, you know. But I don't want to put out anybody else's business. I don't want to say things that is not verified. I don't want to say things that well, let's just leave it at that.
I'm gonna watch what I say so I don't get banned from this podcast either.
No,
Listen, I don't think being banned on the podcast is the problem. It's your career.
Yeah,
Those shit you say on here. Yeah, you gotta protect your career, man. There's people watching this now. Yeah,
you'll be surprised, you know. Well, Ken making his rounds, so you gotta be extra careful now. Ken making his rounds on podcasts and shit, so now you got the spotlight. You gotta be careful, man.
I realize, man.
That's true.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But how you been, Ken?
Dude, I've been good. Prep's been going pretty well. You know, cardio is like at 55 minutes, 7 days a week. My food is, Beatty, you know how it goes. Our food is nothing to smile at. So food's a little bit, it's starting to get low. I recorded today at the 280s, so I'm literally 280 on the dot. I check in with Andrew usually on Friday, so I think by Friday I'm definitely going to be under 280 finally. But with the check-in pictures and everything, you've seen some of them and the video I posted, you know, relatively lean at this stage, to be quite honest. So I feel very confident, you know, coming into this season. I think taking last year off was definitely the move. Mm-hmm. I feel very confident with this new physique, like the added muscle that we've put on.
Yeah,
I really think it's going to be something special, man. It's going to be, I'm not saying I'm going to win, but definitely I'm going to push a lot of guys, you know, on that pro stage. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hey, Sid posted that Kai Green video in his story. I was thinking the exact same thing when I saw it. I was like, yo, that reminded me of that Kai Green video. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Kai Green. Only thing is, Ken control the stomach a lot better than Kai. Kai didn't give a fuck. Kai just did that shit. I'm like, damn, Kai, hold that shit in. But you know, just the roundness and fullness, that's impressive, man. And the condition is really good, man. Condition really good. So
yeah,
shout out Ken for that.
You know, like I said, we've been on this pod now for almost 2 years, and you know, this off season, you knew I was doing cardio year round, right? Mm-hmm. This off season, I was doing, you know, at one point my cardio was at 40 minutes 5 times a week, so it was able to keep me lean, and I was able to eat and grow. So I feel like the muscle that I put on this round, it was good tissue. You know, I feel like we kept the fat to a minimum. You're going to have to put on fat to get big, mm-hmm. but we kept the fat to a minimum. And I feel like we put on, you know, really solid tissue this season, because the way I'm looking at it, projecting right now, I feel like I'm going to be in the low 240s on stage, which is wild. That's 20 pounds that's North Americans. So
at your height, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. You know, you were talking about the off-season cardio. Yeah, I usually have to do it all year round as well, but this year I had to cut it out because I couldn't gain any more weight, which is strange for me. But I think part of getting older and I'm training a little different, and I could say maybe I'm a little more structured. But I added in something that a lot of times it's hard for me to believe in some of these like peptides and shit, because I'm like, I don't know if it's really working or if it's just part of the cocktail. I don't really know what's working or not. But I've been doing this shit, SLUPP 332, I think it's called. Yeah, I never heard of it either. But I kept hearing good things about it from people I trust, and I tried it. And at first I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's working. And then I'm realizing, I'm like, I'm leaner than usual. And I'm like, I'm eating more than usual. I'm like, but there's so many factors in bodybuilding, right? It could be I got a dog, but maybe I'm walking my dog more. Who the fuck knows? But then now I'm kind of convinced. So I guess we'll really know. Maybe in prep, I guess. I don't know. But that's the only thing the big thing that changed. I think that's the only compound that changed. So if this is true, maybe that's something you could try off season to see if you notice difference. Because if you do, then I'll be more.
I've never used a peptide, not one.
Oh, okay, shit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I know BPC 157. That's what it's called, right? I
Yeah.
think that's the one that's like typically good, but I've
Yeah,
never used.
TB
I
too.
haven't used one peptide ever.
Those are the ones I've used.
Oh, you got a new mic or something over there?
Hey, that's something.
Yeah, okay, damn.
Hey,
You got some bass.
no.
Joe got some bass. I'm like, Joe hit the bass. I'm like, I never heard that. Never heard that tone.
My voice sound extra deep today.
Yeah. I never heard that tone from Joe.
No, I listened to the fans finally, but I was like, no, honestly, I was on the phone with Ashley the other day,
Mhm.
and then the same day, Paul said something about my headphones. She told me, and then he did. I was like, fuck, man, this is what it sounds like talking on the phone. It's gonna sound just as shitty on the podcast. So I was like, okay, fuck you. I was going to pick up Ash, and then I was like, as soon as I get there, I'm gonna see what kind of AirPods her dad just got, because I was like, those look kind of nice. And so I was sitting in their office, and I was asking. She's like, hold on, let me go get my dad's AirPods to see which ones.
Mhm.
And then her dad overheard me. He's like, hey Joe, I don't really care for him. You can have mine. And I was like,
Oh, you can't beat that price.
I was like, damn. For real, I told him, I was like, Feliz Navidad or what? He started cracking up. I was like, fuck yeah, I came in here expecting to spend like $2, and then here I am with free ass AirPods.
Is it just me? But Joe's audio never bothered me. I never noticed it being bad.
I never
Gotta be
noticed
honest.
it personally. I know I've
It's
seen
not-
comments, but I never noticed it.
It's noticeable when you play the podcast.
When you
back,
play it
'cause
back.
I listen to y'all's
Oh.
too. It's just
Okay.
I don't know. I wonder if mine sounds like that too, because I have AirPods, but I don't know.
Okay, that's the thing.
No. So I had those Beats on, and the
Oh.
Beats aren't that good. I used to have AirPods when we very first started, but I only had one, so I wouldn't do the noise cancel thing. And then so I was like, fuck it, let me try the Beats. And then the Beats didn't work good either, so I was just being lazy about getting fucking AirPods, and then here I am.
The way it sounds on Zoom versus how it sounds on YouTube is different. I noticed that because when Stu talks on a podcast, I'm like, oh damn, the audio, I can't hear him. If they're gonna sound bad as I'm editing, I'm like, this is bad. And then once I upload it, I'm like, oh, it sounds fine. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there is a change. I don't know if YouTube fucks with it or if it's just the software I edited it with, but there is a difference. So I don't actually listen to the podcast back anymore. I haven't done that in a while. So I don't actually know what it sounds like. But here, right here and there. Oh yeah,
I've listened to a few. Yeah,
Once in a
Was
while,
it-
yeah, I'll jump on.
that's when I
Was it
realized myself. I'm like, fuck, my mic's shitty as fuck.
Okay.
I'm like, I understand why people are complaining. Like, I can hear me, but you have to try a little harder to hear me instead of just casually listening to it. It's like, wait, what's he saying? Like
That throws you off. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I listen to podcasts like that, it kind of fucks with me. Or if one person is too loud, it throws me off. Stu talks in a lower tone too. I think Stu talks a lot calmer and lower. So sometimes that could be it as well. He's not a loud talker. You know. All right.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you guys noticed. That made me feel way better about my purchase. Just know I was going to spend the money, but I just didn't have to.
Joe looks like he's back to bulking. You look like you bulking again?
No, I mean, I topped off. So the heaviest I saw first thing in the morning was 297.8. And then we pulled back after that. So I'm about 295 this morning. But then I'm done. Like, I have 4 weeks left of my, like, I guess you can call it my off season. Then I'll go on my my health phase, Stu's favorite word or phrase, and then we'll start prep for.
Oh,
the
there you
next
go.
one.
Oh, hell yeah! Also, you're gonna do a show this year?
In August, yeah, I'm still doing
Oh,
Tampa,
fine.
and I'm still doing Texas. I sat down and Ashley told me, she's like, "You're gonna do your shows, Joe. Like, don't let this stop you." I was like, okay, if you're on board, I'm gonna do it. So
I wasn't sure if we're gonna have because some people, you know, they have a kid and they have the health phase and it turns into like a dad phase afterwards, like an extended health phase. Extended health phase. It happened to Regan, right? Regan
she wants
had
to
a
be
dad
there too. So if you guys end up going, if any of you guys end up going to Tampa, you'll see my baby. That'll be like his first trip out. He'll be 3 months old at that time. So
damn,
she wants to be there. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, for real. I'm like, fuck, this one's different. I have a whole little son coming to this one.
You gotta hold him up. After you win, you gotta hold him up. Like
like Sergio's dad.
Baby
one
Joe.
Hand though. One hand with my GH hand.
baby machine right here. Baby machine.
For real. Man, I'm excited. I really am, guys. Like the closer you get, like bro, like the other day, like, you know, holding her stomach, you can fucking feel that motherfucker. Like he kicks with your hand kind of thing. It's just different feeling. Fucking crazy.
Have y'all noticed there's a lot more bodybuilders having kids now?
Yeah. I don't know if it's, you know, it's one of those things I think that if I tell you to look for something, you're going to start seeing it. Like now that like being like someone that you know is having a baby, it's kind of like you start looking for it. And now you just notice that everyone's having kids.
Have we ever seen this many active bodybuilders in their prime have kids? There wasn't a thing like in the 2000s and 90s.
You know what I think it is too? You know what I think it is too? I think bodybuilders travel a lot less now versus in the 90s.
That's true too. That's true too.
Those guys were traveling constantly.
That's true.
Going on tour and whatnot. But now, like, you can take 6 months out of the year to do that, and then the rest of the year you're kind of home. So, yeah, because at a point, I remember, I think like Brandon Curry was like the only one at one point on the Olympic level that had kids. But now it seems like most people do.
Shit, James announced, right? His girl is pregnant. Antoine had a kid not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Of course,
Sean Correa had a kid last year.
Yeah. Derek,
Rafa,
Regan,
Rafa.
Brett. You said Brett.
Brett. Mm-hmm.
Brett. Yeah, it's. I mean,
that's a lot.
I know Hadi got kids, Rami got kids, but I feel like in other countries that's more normal.
Bonak's got kids.
That's true. Damn. So who doesn't have kids at this point, right? Well, Samson don't have kids. Samson don't have kids. Derek, Hadi, Brandon Curry, Andrew probably not.
Hunter has a kid.
He has a daughter. You're right. Shit.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
We might have more Olympians with kids than not with kids. This is a new era. That's crazy.
It's very true.
Then we have this conversation about it, like making it harder to be a better bodybuilder, right? And then
we did a while back, and we all said that we can make it happen. It's just a matter of like, do you want it or not? Because it's going to be more difficult. Yeah. So
it was a more nuanced conversation than we thought. When we started the conversation, I felt like me and Zayd thought it would affect you the most. Zayd thought it the most, and I was kind of more leaning to Zayd. And as I kind of started hearing you out, more of you guys, and Stu too, I'm like, you know what? He's kind of right. It's like, we're not that special, bro. Motherfuckers work all the time. Motherfuckers out doing construction, working all day. They don't even see the kid. At least we're eating meals at home. You know what I'm saying? Your kid could go, if we're training, your kid could come to the gym. I mean, there's all type of shit you can do. So then I was like, yes, but then being there physically and being there mentally is different. I think we'll be there more physically, but then perhaps sometimes your brain is. Somebody said that recently. Who said that?
It's also the lens. It's also the lens you're looking at it from, right? Like the people we're talking about are established bodybuilders. I think at the time we were talking about it, we were looking at it from a guy who's just trying to come up, right? Like I know Rafe has given the example of how he had to take a couple years off bodybuilding, because he had like twins or something. He had like 2 kids, very young. So it depends on the lens. It depends on where you are in your life too. At that particular instance, like a guy like Rafa, yeah, he's at the top level, but he has very good streams of income coming in where he 100%. Can afford to do that, right? Versus if you're just trying to go pro, right? Yeah. Then it's like, okay, this bodybuilding thing may not be worth it. You're not even a pro yet. So why would you put your family um, why would you put all this into this thing and you have a family coming on the way type of thing? It's just a very different perspective,
Yeah, I agree. Timing is important as well.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say, let's say Janicki, right? He's a little bit older for amateur, but established. But even him, he's like, the iron is hot because at the time, let's say last year, the year before, that was when his name was like taken off the most. So I agree that if he kept competing, he could take away from that, instead of capitalizing on. Whereas if he capitalized these next 2 years, he could come back at 35 and turn pro if he wanted to. He didn't need the pro card. I mean, let's be real. But let's say if he wanted to, the timing would be, his kids would be a little older, and then he would be able to, So I think timing is crucial. You don't want to time it in a place where you're not doing decent financially, and you're still figuring shit out. You haven't figured out your coaching situation. You haven't figured out your living situation, your relationship. All that should be in place before you can really, you know what I'm saying?
Or potential too. Like I know, Joe, you're on the pod right now, but I give an example. If Joe wins a pro show tomorrow, contracts, pro wins, it's very different, right?
Yeah.
So like there's an opportunity to make a lot of money here where the ends justify the means, right? You can actually put your all into this versus if Joe was just starting bodybuilding today, it's like, I don't know. You may want to hold on.
I was gonna say one thing my fiance did tell me was like, it's if she didn't see it herself, she wouldn't allow me to do this shit. She's like, but I see your potential or the work you put into it, like how far you've come. Like she sees me being up here just because of what I've accomplished and some of the things I've done. And I'm already a pro. That was a big thing. I'm already a pro. So if it was like you guys said earlier, if I was trying to chase even just a pro card, this wouldn't be in question. It wouldn't at all.
It wouldn't make sense. Everything has to make sense. But also, bodybuilding is also helping you earn a living right now, right? Because I mean, I'm sure you could get clients if you weren't competing, but I mean, being Mr. USA and being, of course, looking the way you look and what you've achieved, it's also helping you get clients as well. So that's kind of the trade-off makes sense. And like Ken said, there's more potential to make even more money. Even if it's not on stage, the lifestyle and your physique and what you're doing is going to lead to it secondhand, if not firsthand. So it all makes sense.
And that's the thing too. Just with the title that I have won, even the IFBB Pro thing, like you said, the look itself, that's been helping me accrue things.
Yeah.
Like like just even on these trips and stuff. Like, I'm gonna be with Gas running their booth on this next week and filming with them. I'm gonna get to hang out with Brett and Hunter and stuff, get to know them and stuff. So it's slowly, step by step, getting to where I want to be. Like eventually, even without winning anything yet in the pro league. So it's pretty cool, and she sees that. But if none of that was happening, this ain't happening.
Yeah. I still remember we talked about that at the Metroflex, and at the time I felt like you were kind of getting frustrated because I get it, because you're like, shit, if shit don't start popping off, like the fuck am I doing? I feel like you was feeling like shit got to start, for it to make sense. Shit got to start happening, right? So you kind of
like, why, I was like, I'm 30 years old, like, don't get me wrong, I have a dream and I'll work for my dream, but at the end of the day, like, if it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna fucking happen. I'm not gonna waste my life chasing something that's not gonna happen. So that's why there was frustration there.
For sure,
like, dude, you bust your ass for what?
For sure, for sure.
You could be making more money doing other things too, Like, I'm not a one trick fucking pony. I have a brain on my fucking in my head, like
You gotta be well. That's where Asian maturity comes in, to be able to do that. Because when most of us start, we have no radar. We don't even understand what life is. It's just, this is some fun we do. But you have the privilege of doing that because you don't have any responsibility at that point. So this is why I think a podcast like this is important too. Because if I was able to listen to something like this when I was 22, that could help me out a lot in a lot of ways, you know. That's how I feel, you know. So there are people who watch this channel who are 18, 19, and some of them I feel like podcasts do benefit them. You know, let's say for my clients, and not just this podcast, but podcasts in general, they're so much smarter, bro. So much smarter than I can speak for myself than I was at fucking 19. I thought I was smart, yeah, because I know what Deca is, I know what Treading is, yeah, but that's just understanding drugs doesn't make you smart. These kids are legit smart. Guy asked me about carvedilol, and I'm like, damn, y'all know about blood pressure meds and all this shit. I'm like, I didn't even know what the fucking blood work was. I had no interest in that. I just wanted to get big,
I don't know what a blood work was. That entity.
that was foreign to me. You guys know Dom Super Sliced?
Yeah.
He was the first one that even put me onto blood work, and he wasn't even my coach. He was coaching Vincenzo, and then Vincenzo beat me at a show, and then he was like, "Yo, man, you look pretty. How old are you?" And I was like, "Oh, 22." He's like, "Wow." So I think he was thinking, you must be running a lot of juice. He's 22, motherfucker. So he was like, "I'm gonna take you to my doctor, whatever." And he didn't charge me anything. He got me blood work, and like, it's looking good. So he was the first one that even, to that point, I had no interest, didn't even know where to go or anything like that, because it wasn't like it is now, where you could just buy blood work and take it in and no problem. You kind of have to know somebody, But
speaking about blood work, bro, I put up a post. It was one of my transformation posts, and this one fucking blew up. And this is earlier on this week, I think. Way earlier on this week, maybe.
Not the one that Louis Marco posted.
So I don't know. That's not the same one. So he posted his own version. Like he took two different posts of mine and combined them.
Why do that? Why not?
I don't know. But the one I put up, Mike Van Wick even said some shit. And I'm like, hey, Mike saw it. But according to them, like all the comments on there, talk about blood work and health, bro. Apparently, I'm gonna die in 5 years. I won't see my 40s. All that kind of shit. Someone said, why is he wearing a hat all of a sudden? Meaning they think I'm bald now. I was like, Jesus.
Trying to hide your
people are so mean, man. People are so.
I need to put up blood work results. That's what I need to do. So you're talking about blood work. I need to shut these people up. So go down.
That's what people assume usually when they see somebody make that information. This one?
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
What did Louis Marco have to say?
He said, "Do we salute this transformation?" You know how Louis
thinks he's slick because Louis never talks shit. What he does is when he posts it, he'll leave the caption in a way he opens the door for talking shit, right? He'll post Nick Walker. He'll be like, "You think this guy can get 10 Olympias?" Like he said back in this interview. I'm like, don't do that, bro. No, don't do that. Because he wants the comments to talk shit for him. Hey, no. No, go to bed.
Well, what trips me out though, in this one, is that this one gotten the most like traction than any of the other posts I've done. I'm like, I'm not even natty in the left one. That was when I went to California. Yeah, I was like, hey, what the fuck?
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, that's a big difference from being on cycle. But the funny part is, they look at it and they think you went from natty to blasting crazy gear.
That's right. Yeah, I was already on here on the left.
I think it's once it goes viral like that, like there's a lot. It's no longer just your typical bodybuilding fans that understand, what's actually going on. It's usually like Gen Pop and just people that are into fitness. And anytime it crosses over to that realm, dude, nothing good comes out of it. Nothing.
But I was like, hey man, these guys are gonna make me famous. Keep talking shit, please. Keep talking.
Oh yeah, shit. Look, damn, yeah, the like that shit went crazy. Yeah,
60K, yeah.
But
But what got me was this motherfucker ain't gonna live past 40. So like they said his heart's about to explode. Or he's like, bro, what the fuck did you do? Well, I just decided to lift some weights and eat some food, I swear.
The same thing he was doing in the before pick is the same thing you're doing in the after pick. But the thing is, people don't realize that people like this run gear as well. But nobody tells you you're dying here, right? Because you're a little smaller. Yeah, but they don't realize that the small guys on the gym juice too, right? They just assume.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
They just assume only the guys 300 pounds are juicing, but they also assume they're like taking something insane to get there. So that I think that's just the way normal people think. They think that that's the game. It's just a matter of how much steroids you can take. The more you take, the bigger you get, basically, right?
So what I was gonna say is, I'm actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I know what I was taking on the left side and what I'm taking on the right, and it's almost the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of us sometimes we take less, as you know, later on. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that, like, someone made fun of a guy for saying that's what food and hard work will get you, and he was being serious, and people were talking shit like, dude, like, you're blind or you're naive or whatever, when literally, because that's why I brought up the fact that I was actually on gear on the left. Like, all I did was eat more on the right. I just trained just as hard. So it's just literally food got me there, and the drug protocol wasn't much different.
It's a 3-year transformation.
Well,
was it a 3-year?
It was 2022 to, so that was May of 2022, and on the right it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so 3 years.
If you read comments from like a Kenny KO video, you'll see like a 45-year-old black guy with like a high school football player physique, and all the comments are like, "Oh my god, why is he lying?" I'm like, bro, literally, this is how we looked in fucking high school, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? He got abs. He looks like he does some push-ups, and he got abs. But I think the fucking people think that you can't build any muscle. At this point, the fucking goalpost is so low. People think if you look like you work out, you're not natural, which is it's a crazy concept to me. You know,
if I didn't know Ken, though, in their defense, if I didn't know Ken when he was coming up and he competed naturally, I would have thought he was on some shit. Like, back then, like, if I was the same age as Ken, and if I would have known Ken back then and I was natural too, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, bro. But obviously he wasn't.
I guess it depends what you're around, what you've been introduced to.
Yeah, Ken's like, that would have been the first Nigerian I've ever seen. No, so now I see what you motherfuckers are capable of.
I wanna find this one.
Scroll down. It's way beyond this one too. But this was my first show. Yeah. You're almost there. Should be on the left. Right there. Yeah.
Ken, how many shows did it take you or how many shows did you do before you turned pro?
So I competed MPC. I did 4 shows, and I competed in the OCB twice.
Oh, you haven't done that many shows then.
So you did exactly the same as me.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had one more show under your belt than I just did.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
Yeah.
Wait. No, you said it's your 5th show?
New York is going to be my 5th show. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you did. You've only done one more show than me.
You've done
almost the exact same way.
You've done 4 shows total, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I guess what you grow up around, I feel like I grew up with a group of people who all looked like, I don't know, like, I guess I didn't think it was impressive at the time, but in hindsight, I think now it's impressive. But everybody looked good, but none of us thought we looked that special. We just thought we just looked like kids who work out. I mean, I don't know. So
It's
it's what you're around, what you've been introduced to. So if everybody around you at 16 is just skinny and 100 pounds, then you're gonna think that's the best you can get, I guess.
Bro, I swear,
yeah,
anybody that's complimented me and my natural look, like, I'm like, nah, you guys got to see this guy. And I show him Ken. This motherfucker, he would have beat me for sure.
yeah. No, it's weird because like I guess like you said, Beatty, people just don't realize that you can build a physique naturally. I think it's almost like they've given up on that notion that you can't have a decent physique without taking some kind of gear, which is not true. It's not true at all.
Yeah,
It's weird. I honestly don't even engage in those conversations because you can never win. You
can't win the
never win.
conversation. Yeah.
What's dope is though is I mean people like Ken and myself. I can only speak for both of us because it's how we did it, right? The foundation that you lay out before touching the gear, you create this super high ceiling. So the stuff you can accomplish, like, cause you almost become super smart in how you approach training, because you have to. Like, the only thing you have to recover is food and sleep, and then you have to be smart with your approach. So you have to train heavy. You have to train like where you're slowly adding weight to the bar and stuff, and be conscious of how much volume you're doing and stuff. So it's just like you're a smarter athlete when you're natural for longer.
And
You
all
have
those
nothing
variables,
else.
you've perfected all those variables before
Yeah.
you become enhanced. Like a lot of people that just jump in, you're still trying to figure out the diet, you're still trying to figure out the training. When you do it the other way around, everything's been figured out already. Now you're just adding a little bit extra, and then you really start to just skyrocket from there. That's
So
just
when
how
you
I
see
see it.
transformations, look at Ken, right?
Yeah.
What he accomplished in the last 2 years of his off season. He gave himself time to grow, but he also knew how to grow, like without wasting any time figuring it out.
Yeah.
And he had a coach, so it's like you didn't have to second guess anything.
Yeah.
If you can't figure out how to grow
Naturally, I'm not saying like 20 pounds of muscle or anything like that, but if you can't figure out how to put on muscle naturally, you ain't gonna put it on steroids. You might think you are because you might gain 10 pounds from D-ball, but that shit not muscle, right? So let's say a client doing a first cycle and they're on test and D-ball, and they're like, oh man, man, 2 weeks passed by, I haven't gained any weight. Is there anything else I can take? I'm like, excuse me? Motherfucker, you can, if you can't put on weight on test and D-ball, it's over. You should be able to put on weight naturally, right? Imagine somebody tell you I can't put on weight. With no drugs, you can put on weight. Up to food, what are you talking about? So I know you're not eating the food I gave you because you would have gained weight. I just increased your fucking carbs by 300. You told me you can't gain weight. That's nonsense. There's nonsense. So it's impossible that you can't gain any weight if you're on your first cycle. So you're doing, that would tell me you're not even staying consistent. You're doing worse than you were a couple weeks ago, because the cycle itself should be putting weight on you, right? So if you're not moving, that means you're going backwards in my books, right? So people like that, I don't even think you should be fucking around with gear, because you're not really serious about this at this point. So
Yeah.
you could probably get the same shit done without it, honestly. So that's not good.
I had a client, I'm not gonna say a name, but I had a client reach out to me and ask me about certain dosage on something, and they said, if I increase this dosage, just out of curiosity, would the results come faster? And then it's not answering the question. I said, do you love training? And then he was like, yeah, of course I do. And then I said, so what's your rush? And he was like, well, I guess when you put it like that, I'm like, yeah, man, because I'm gonna be honest, if you're chasing a look and you're just trying to get there, you're never gonna get there. I was like, you have to love every single part of this journey, whether it comes from the workouts, the food, the sleep, the exhaustion. You have to love all that shit. And then eventually you're gonna get there without even thinking about it. I'm like, if you don't love that, you're trying to just figure out a way to get there faster, you'll never make it. I promise.
My rebuttal is,
Why didn't you ask that question about anything else? Why didn't you ask me, well, if I increase my protein from 300 to 400, would I get bigger? Why you didn't ask me that? Why you didn't ask me, if I increase my my incline hammer strength from 3 plates to 3 1/4 would I grow? Right? Why did you only ask about whatever he asked? You know what I'm saying?
The
Think about
gear,
that.
yeah.
So that kind of tells you a lot. You're only asking me how to grow from one variable, and you just completely disregarded the other 3 variables, right? So if you
Yeah.
keep doing that tells me maybe the wrong thing about you. You know what I'm saying? Drugs work, obviously, but if you want the drugs to do the job that you don't want to do, then that's just not going to happen. You're just going to be going circles, you know.
And
Mhm.
I've witnessed like the guys that you're talking about that they want to do the cycle, but all the other puzzle pieces are missing: diet, training, cardio, etc. They end up with a lot of side effects, and I see a lot of gyno down here in South Texas just because it's
Yeah,
normal people going to the gym, but they work at the refineries and they want to blast, test, and trend because it feels good.
100%.
And then they see a small bit of progress, but all those other puzzle pieces are missing. And then they end up going to like HRT clinics and having to get surgery, gyno surgery, et cetera, because they're solely focused on the cycle and the gear.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, the funny part is my female clients
So the complete opposite. It's like they want to try to avoid the gear or they want to take as little as possible, and they're focused about everything else. And I'm like, we might have to add some cleaning here, right? Because I don't want to have you do, 3 hours of cardio. And they're like, you sure? I think I could do it without. And I kind of like that. I'm like, yo, that's dope that you think like that. But we're gonna go ahead and add that clean because I don't want you doing 3 hours of cardio.
No, yeah, I've always said when it came to training, I've always preferred training girls. For some
Yeah,
reason, 9 times out of 10, they have a better work ethic than the guys. And what the fuck?
you know.
And maybe that's the drive. They'd rather not like worry about becoming manly with some stuff, and
Yeah.
like
That's
like
true. Yeah.
they just rather work it off. You know?
They don't seem to have that same relationship with the drugs. Granted, on both sides, there's people who work hard and don't work hard, but generally, the females that do work hard seem to take it to another level.
I've
Especially
always
for, huh? What you got?
go ahead. I'll go after you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, especially for the bigger division, especially like physique and bodybuilding, those girls but honestly, even down to my bikini and wellness girls still. But the bigger they are, it's like because women don't have the same encouragement to get that big to begin with, right? For like, let's say vanity or respect. Whereas a man could just be wanting to do it for those reasons, right? So which is not deep enough to make you go that hard. Whereas if a woman is bodybuilding, it's because she really fucks with bodybuilding, right? She's not doing it to be cool. Yeah, I want to be, right? She's doing it because she really fucks with it. I
That's
think Ken
that's
is out of
exact
time.
that's exact that's exactly what I was going to say. Culturally speaking, bodybuilding is more of a masculine type thing, right? So the women that do go into this, they're doing it because they truly want to do it, versus a lot of guys get into it for other reasons. So with girls, it's very rare to see a girl who's pursuing bodybuilding because someone encouraged her to do it, and she's just it's something that she's always wanted to do. And honestly, even males or females, those are the people that always put their best foot forward, right? They give the most effort because it's something they truly believe in their heart that they love and enjoy. So that's
100%.
that's what I think.
There was a bikini girl I had.
Her name was Chichi. She was Nigerian as well, and she got
Goku's
her pro
wife.
card. The Goku wife. She
Goku's wife.
She got her pro card in bikini. They give her a pro card. She didn't know what the shit was. She literally didn't know what an IB pro card was. It's like if I didn't teach her how to sign up for NPC show, she wouldn't have even know how to do it. Think about how the opposite that is of guys. The first time they text you about coaching, I want to get my pro card. I'm like, bro, who are you? Like, what are we talking about? Right? A pro card? What? That's not a conversation yet. We haven't even dieted down. We haven't had off season. We haven't done anything, right? Whereas this girl, she just want to step on stage. She loves working out. I want to try it out. She didn't even know how to pose, but she models on the side. She did a model walk basically, which it wasn't proper bikini posing. But they were like, motherfucker, she Nigerian. She give her the card, motherfucker. Nah, stay. But the point is that she was doing it for the love. She was doing it for the love of the game, and then that shit comes with it. And if you don't got it, sadly, it is what it is, right? You can't, you know. So either you got it or you don't, and you do it because you love it. There's really no other way around it. You can't force something that's not there. And if you don't love it, you might as well stop now. Honestly, if you really dislike this shit and you're miserable doing it, I would encourage you just not to do it at all. You know, Paul left a comment like that, replying to somebody on my post. I don't think the guy meant it that way, but the guy was saying like, oh, it's hard. I think training is hard or some shit like that. Something along the line. Paul was like, if it's too hard or you don't like it, don't do it. And I'm like, I don't think he meant it like that, Paul. But but I get it. He's like, that's what you complaining for. Like, do it or don't. Leave it alone. Nobody's making you do it. I want to have a burger so bad. Go eat a burger. But I don't want to lose the show. Okay, so shut up and eat the chicken breast. What you want me to do? You don't have to do this, you know. So I think we have to keep that in mind. But I want to keep this episode on the shorter side. So you guys want to go to questions?
Before we go to questions, I want to cover.
Of course.
I don't know if you guys have seen the new rule that dropped. So 3 years, the IFBB membership for 3 years.
No, I'm not familiar. I didn't do
So
my research.
if you don't compete within 3 years and you don't pay your membership essentially within that time period, you're no longer a pro.
Oh, yeah, you got to go back.
What didn't they?
To the NPC.
What? Oh shit! You go back. You have to re-earn your pro card.
Yeah, check who is the best bodybuilder. I think they posted on.
Didn't they do that before? And it was 2 years only. Or am I wrong?
I don't know.
I want to say it was 2 years.
Is it
before.
if you don't compete or if you don't pay for it?
Oh, if you don't pay, oh, you're right.
I think
you don't pay.
You don't pay. Yeah.
Well, essentially, that's the same thing, right? I mean, because you have to have it to.
I mean, you can pay for it and not compete, though.
And not compete, yeah. Okay, but here's my question. But the rule is also if you win Mr. Olympia, you never have to qualify again. So if we're talking about Ramy, even if he doesn't pay it, he's Mr. Olympia. So does that which rule overrides the other rule?
Probably Mr. Olympia can always compete no matter what.
I think some people like who are older pros who are like retired and coaches, I think you have to pay for it to get access backstage in some sort of way. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
So like
that's true. That's true.
That's wild. If I'm Dexter Jackson, bro, I'm
like, yo, let me in backstage. Oh, let me in backstage, motherfucker.
Because I've been at shows where I've had seen people trying to go backstage, and then in order to, they had to pay for the NPC or IFBB membership. That way, they were.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't pay, they're gonna give you that Michael the Bull treatment, right?
Well, you have to pay. You have to renew it every year already, right? Like once a year.
Unless you're competing, I think before it was if you're competing, right? Like if you earned it, you earned it, right?
Did you pay and have a card last year, Ken?
No.
So yes,
compete.
So yes, Ken.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like your registration.
It's your registration, you know.
But Ken didn't compete.
I didn't compete last year, so I was like, I'm not gonna. It's $275. It's $275 for registration. You know, it's not small change. It's not chicken change. So I was like, I'm not competing. So what's the point?
Did you pay this year?
Oh, you're gonna have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I see what y'all saying. You don't have. Okay, you have to. At least within those 3 years, you have to.
You
just can't
pay.
go.
Even if you don't compete, you have to renew your registration within 3 years if you want to keep your pro card. You don't have to compete anymore, I guess. I thought you used to have to compete at least within 2 years to keep your pro title.
No.
Okay.
That's not bad.
That would be horrible. That means Kai Green's no longer a pro, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who's Kai Green?
So that's not as bad. In my head, I kind of
mixed the two up. I thought you either had to compete every year, or you had to pay every year, even if you don't compete. But 3 years is fair. I mean, if you don't compete,
that's pretty fair myself.
It's fair. Yeah. It's fair. I look at it. I don't think it will affect people too much up until 2026. So I look at a guy like Cody Montgomery. Say Cody Montgomery doesn't pay this year. right?
Yeah, go back to
Next year he's got to
U6.
go into the NPCs. Like it's like that's a little bit it's a little tough to accept. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so I the only thing with rules is like what it doesn't apply to everyone, right? So if Kai Green says I'm coming back and Kai Green hasn't paid in X amount of years, they really think they're gonna make him go back to the
No.
NPC? Like absolutely not. Come on.
I think he'll be all right.
So
If
yeah.
C-Bum, when C-Bum is 35,
But hey, can I come back? I don't think he's gonna have to pay $5,000. I think he'll get back in.
You
In
know,
a way,
it's funny you say Seba. Oh, go ahead. I'll talk about something else after.
yeah, in a way, I kind of see why the league is doing it. Everyone's complaining about too many pros, too many pros, too many pros. So this is their way to kind of call that, excessive amount of pro cards that's out there, especially if it's someone that, just wanted to get the pro card and then never compete after that. That's where I think the people that this will affect a lot. So I understand the two sides of it. I just think it's interesting. I never thought I'd see the day that this would happen, within our organization.
You know, I was gonna say, you guys hear that phrase, "A history repeats itself," and it does. It's been proven, right? So they're comparing C-Bum to be on that trajectory of Arnold status, right?
Yeah.
And I can see it, and it's just funny because it happens to be he's the classic physique guy, the one who's supposed to mimic the Arnold era. And I'm like, Arnold came back like 5 years later after his last Olympia. I'm like, dude, if Chris did that, can you imagine that amount of hype, especially because he's so young still? So like, it's not gonna be like a Kevin Levrone coming back. It's like this motherfucker could still fucking win it. That'd be pretty dope to see. But once Beatty said that, I was like, damn. Imagine he did that shit, repeating history what Arnold did and shit. And then winning just because he's C-Bum, then causing that controversy. Do you really believe C-Bum earned that? Blah, blah, blah.
that would be kind of cool. I'm
not gonna lie. I think if winning becomes easy, not that it's easy to prep or anything, but if you're winning at by almost like it's like automatic win. I think you get bored to a point. I think there's a level of like you don't have that same fire. So I think like a few years off, you can kind of miss it. Especially guys get better, not worse, right? So you're like, damn.
Think about his motivation though. Like he has a daughter, so in 5 years, his daughter will understand what she's looking at on stage. So there's enough motivation right there within itself, So it's just like
that's true. Yeah.
And then just so his kids. Sorry, go ahead.
Could understand.
No, I was gonna say, and like the thing is, like every season that he stopped, or every year he stopped, pretty much, and he went kind of normal. He always goes back to normal, like human, like, and then because of his whole kidney thing, and then he starts pushing later on in the season. So it's not like he's gonna be anything he's not used to, anyways. Yeah. It'll just be a longer time off, but he's still gonna train. He's still training now. So.
I mean, especially
classic with the weight caps, it's not like the sport is gonna get away from him, right? And if they raise it 5 more pounds, shit, that might. He could get another 5 pounds. So it's not like it's open where like the guys could get so far away that he's gonna be left behind, right? So I think he could, and I think that would be fun to watch. Get that fire back a little bit. Obviously, he doesn't need bodybuilding, right? But neither did Arnold, so he don't have to need it. But he might miss it a little bit. And like you said, with the kid, just his kid being able to really understand it and cheer him on and stuff like that, that could probably be cool as well.
The kid's gonna grow up in the industry, anyways. That's C-Bum's life. He will forever be in the industry.
Yeah.
He'll be a commentator or something, like, so his kid's gonna grow up around it anyway, and probably like, hey daddy, I want to see you up there, blah blah blah. It's probably like, damn, fuck it, I want to do it too.
That's gonna be that would be cool. All right, you guys wanna do some questions?
Sure. Yeah. I have time for one, and then I gotta bounce.
All right, bet. Let's do it. Let's see what we got. Hey, any of you guys?
Go ahead. Sorry, I was gonna ask about Alyssa.
Oh God,
I wanted to know.
I
about
already know what you're gonna
the
ask.
Oh
crunch.
yeah.
The
Oh,
crunch.
I forgot about that. I wanted to
When
bring
I
that up
jumped
too.
on, I was hoping Alyssa wasn't talking about it. I was like, fuck, I missed it.
I'm gonna be honest. Like the way that I see the situation, I don't even want to discuss it and bring negative vibes to like Ken's prep because it's like pointless. I don't. When I go long, I'll just keep it short. It was like the day I got banned, the morning. Okay, the day before I trained chest and shoulders and did my 2-a-days. But the day before is where I think it all went wrong, where I disrespected the gym,
Wait,
where I
wait.
took,
I'm sorry, but before you go into it,
In case anybody didn't see it, Alyssa got banned from Crunch Gym. What gym was it?
yes, for no,
Crunch.
and I have no explanation as to why. Yeah,
Okay.
Crunch, and I'm banned from all locations in Corpus. But
Oh,
long
okay.
story short, I took a girl to the gym and I was training glutes with her, and the gym was so packed you couldn't do anything. And I went to go do hip thrusts with her, and the thing was broken. So I had her on the V squat doing like I was teaching her how to straight leg deadlift. And she's never even been to the gym. She don't even have a membership. She don't work out. I'm just taking this girl to the gym. Let's call it a gym date. So I'm a professional bodybuilder. What do I do if I want to take somebody on a date, right?
Yeah.
Take them to the gym. Go work out with them. And because I've already done my workout, I'm catching a glute session with her. And whether I'm training her or not, I don't train clients. That's not my job. I don't get paid to do it, nor did she give me money to train her. So, long story short, we were doing curtsy squats together. Her and I did a total of 40. We went to go find something else. Everything was busy. Take her to the V squat. I'm teaching her how to straight leg deadlift. No weight on the machine at all. Our second set, a guy approaches us and in gym clothes. It was the manager, but he's in his gym clothes, and he insinuates that I was training her. He's been watching us the whole time, and if I do it again, I'm banned. I said that I was training with her. So I hopped on the machine, I did my set, and when I got off, he was like, nope. It was just very aggressive, and I was like taken back because I told her, I was like, well, I can't work out with you. You can't work out. I guess we just got to leave. That was like a Wednesday night. Thursday, I went in as normal by myself, did my cardio, perfectly fine, no problems. Went back in the afternoon, trained chest and shoulders. I had like a slight impingement. I was just doing what I could, no problem at all. But I think where the disrespect came in is when that manager was like walking by me. I was doing pec decks, and he walked by me, and all I did is I looked the other way because I have to not be able to see it for me to focus on me. So the next morning, I did my cardio and I was sitting at the front desk because I wanted to talk to the blonde hair lady who is the manager that's supposedly right below him, but she's going to be taking over because he's leaving mid February. So I just wanted to speak to her and just touch base because I, again, don't talk to anybody. Nobody. No one has conversations with me. So it's hard for me to disrespect anyone. But I just wanted to touch base with her because he's going to be leaving soon. I want her to understand that I'm not a trainer. I don't make money from this. I don't have clients, nor do I post it because I don't do that. And this is the only I've been going to this gym since they opened in 2019. This new location opened in 2021. Like I've been going to this gym, but it was just a personal problem. But I was just standing at the front counter waiting to speak to the blonde hair lady. I look up, she's disappeared. I look back down at my phone. Next thing I know was that video that was posted because I feel helpless. I feel bullied, and it's a non-judgment gym, and it's pretty judgmental for you to sit here and was I training her? Maybe, but I was working out with her. And what if this is a girl that I was interested in? That's just what I do. That I can't take her out to eat, I don't want to go, so I take her to the gym. That's what I do with whoever I'm going to date, whether it's a dude, girl, whatever. So there was no explanation. Okay. He threatened to ban me because I was training her. The next day I didn't train anybody. The next day I didn't train anybody. So that's why whenever he banned me, he had no explanation. For what? You can't even tell me, and you're turning red and like shaking, and then you want to tell me that we'll talk about this later after you just ban me. I said, no. I can't come back. Tell me now. and this isn't the first time this has happened to me, but what it comes down to is I'm solely focused on myself. I don't show anybody attention. I don't kiss ass. I don't, what's up, y'all? Good morning. Like, I go in there, I do my thing, and I leave. I don't bother no one. I treat others how I want to be treated. So it's just crazy, and I feel like not like at this point I'm numb because I don't know what to do with my life right now. So I just drove an hour to go work out, like an 2 hour commute. So I'm like fucked up. I think I just need to move, and I have options to just go all in on my career because I do believe I'm the best in the world. So I'm sorry for being emotional, but it's just got me fucked up because I truly didn't do anything wrong. And it's like no one is helping me figure this out because no one can give me a phone number to call, an email, no one's emailing me back. And it's like I go there for the equipment and the sauna and that's it. Like I don't go there walking around half naked like these other girls do, disrespecting everyone in there. You know, that's disrespectful to me. So like I don't know. I'm just confused, but I know everything happens for a reason. And it's just this is just going to make me better. So
That's
this
it.
Sorry, Alyssa. I think what you should do starting is maybe go to another Crunch location and see if you can speak to the general manager and explain what happened.
I already
Because
tried to
that,
call him because I don't want to waste my time like talking and because it does mess me up mentally. I'm mentally exhausted. Like
yeah,
so I
because
tried to speak to the other one and the other one was basically like, well, I can't give you any information. And then he said he was going to call that manager. And it's just, I could just tell nobody wants to help me. So I deleted the video off my post because I don't want drama. I'm not drama. Every time someone commented, it's just bringing it back alive in my life. And I just don't understand. And for me, when I don't understand something, it's like I'm stuck on it, but I don't need to. I'm not being able to understand why this dude has it out for me. Like I just don't understand what I did. And when I tried to communicate, because I could have roid raged and cussed him out and did all that, but like, what is that gonna do for me? So
I think the dude had a power trip, and he sees you as this, more of an independent woman kind of thing, carrying yourself strong. I think it made him feel insecure. I genuinely think that's where it came from, and
the
his ego just.
yeah,
He's an idiot.
it
I mean, I watched. Because everything you did, there was nothing wrong. They're not. You're working out with her too, so it's just like you have an
but let's
argument,
just
but
say
I
like I
just.
worked out that whole day. He's walking by me. You're not banning me or kicking me out or accusing me of doing anything. So why is the next day when I'm standing at the counter because I want to speak to her? That's what it is. It's I don't want to speak to you. I want to speak to other people, and that's where it's disrespectful and enough to ban me. No, I'm over it. I'm just over it to be honest. So
From
it is
from
what it is.
from working for gyms like I
It's
guess
commercial gyms. Yeah, you usually that's not a thing. So what happens is if you're working out with the person, they won't even if they want to ban you, they can't. So they'll kind of watch you, and if you're working out with the person, they'll leave you alone. They'll keep watching you, but they won't try to ban you unless they just don't like you for whatever reason. You know what I'm
They
saying?
Yeah.
just
they usually
they
warn.
just
There's
don't.
usually a warning. There's a warning. They give
Mhm.
you.
Okay, so the night that
Yeah.
I was with her, he warned us. Okay, I haven't done it since. They didn't do it again. But because if I never would have stopped by the front desk on my way out of cardio, I would be still going there. But because I wanted to speak to the blonde haired lady, you felt some type of way, so it's personal. And that's why you came over here. And in the video, because I was trying to get my camera to go to point 0.5, I was trying to zoom out. And the way they're saying my name, they're like, Alyssa, Alyssa. Like, dude, you're not my mom and dad. Because I'll slap the fuck out of both of you right now. And I'm sorry for saying that on the podcast, but that's how it makes me feel. But I didn't even show my ass. So my roommates, my people, my parents, they hear the crazy side, but I do that on the phone in private. In person, I try to be as professional as possible. And it's just crazy. You can't pinpoint anything. You can't say I was training because you warned me and I didn't do it again. You can't say I did this or said something to somebody because I don't speak. Like in literally, when people come up to me, hey, how many sets you got left? Or hey, I just look at them and then I just look away, and I'm not being rude. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm avoiding any type of confrontation by just not speaking. So my golden rule, if you're around me and you know you train with me, or you're my client and I train you, is we don't talk. Time is money. And I'm my own trainer. So it's like when I'm training myself, it's like I'm like it's like it's just a big interruption. So I just throughout my career, again, I'm in commercial gyms. I'm not in these meathead gyms. So yeah, I just honestly stay to myself. I just stay to myself. That's why I'm like flabbergasted. I don't know what I did wrong, and no one wants to explain to me, because if you explain to me, hey, you did this, and this, okay, okay, but nothing. So
when it comes to commercial gyms too, that's why a lot of I usually recommend bodybuilders stay away from it, just because you being there sometimes makes them feel away, because they feel like you're gonna attract clients already. So if I'm at a commercial gym, they already have an eye on me. They're watching me the whole time, right? And if I'm there talking to somebody or working out with somebody, they have an extra eye on me, right? When I was with my ex, anytime I'm there with her, if I help her with anything, they're watching hard. Because they feel like because you look the way you look, you're gonna take their clients just off of the way you look. So I think it makes
that's
them uncomfortable for the most part,
it's
So,
just it's all weirdness in this city, and I stay to myself for a reason, because like y'all were saying earlier, guys do the bodybuilding thing for a certain reason, girls do it separately. Like guys out here, they just want to get pussy. I'm just being honest. And the top pros out here, there's me, there's a couple other, maybe one, two, three, they're all capped off. You look at their past show, last place, last place, last place. Cool, you got your pro card and you're a participant. I'm literally just trying to excel. So I'm not looking for attention from anybody. I go in the gym to use equipment. I wipe my stuff down. I put my weights back. It's just, I don't know, man. I just feel like God's like redirecting me, because that's just where I gotta go. I gotta go down a different path to become the best in the world, and it's not the crunch path. So it just fucks me up, because now every other gym that I can attend is a drive, 30 plus minutes, and it's like I don't know if I can handle that.
just don't overthink it. Just because it has nothing to do with with what you did. It's just some kind of way they felt. So I feel like if you overthink it, it's gonna make you feel away more than anything.
Yeah, he has
I'm just taking
frustrated.
it. And honestly, I let it go because I can't do anything about it, and I didn't do anything wrong. But I'm taking it day by day. And like yesterday, I've got what I need, so I'm grateful for that. But like today, I drove out to this gym that has all Panada equipment, just and just being on new equipment, new lighting, new everything. Like it's a fucking hell of a drive. It's an hour, but once I got there, I was able to focus on me, and I was like, I love training. I love bodybuilding. Like I got kicked out of a gym prior to the Olympia, and I finished my prep out of a Planet Fitness. But it's the same situations. It's because I don't pour myself out to these people, and in prep, you don't have the energy to even have a conversation. Like so, the way I do things has gotten me to the level I'm at, and I'm not going to change my protocols. Maybe I'll be more. I don't think that it's my responsibility to go out of my way to be like, "Good morning, what's up? I hope you have a good workout." Yeah, I'm hitting back today. Like that's just not who I am. And if you meet me in real life, that's not who I can't fake that. Like maybe when I was 16 to 19 to 20, when I worked at Max Fit and I was that customer service representative, but I'm not a nutrition store worker. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a gym like host or whatever. Like I don't work at the gym. I'm trying to be Miss Olympia. Like I have to cut all that shit out to do what I want to do. So
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm
believer in
real
things
sorry,
happen.
Alyssa.
I'm a believer in things happen for you, not to you. You know, so like you are trying to climb that ladder, right? And so I think it's setting you up to surround yourself with not necessarily you don't need to talk to people, but be in the same atmosphere as the people that are trying to do what you're doing. I mean, shit, I went to a specific gym because I wanted to be a pro bodybuilder, and what uh 3 years later I became a pro. Why? Because I surrounded myself with people wanting the same shit. So
Right, man.
you don't necessarily need people, but energy's a real thing. Like you feel it, the atmosphere, like it pushes you. Like shit, like I said before, when baby's around, I automatically get stronger just because I want to like. It's just like a testosterone thing. I don't fucking know. It's I want to perform
Yeah.
better because my boys are with me, you know. So it's just like you surround yourself with that shit, the outcome's gonna be even better. So again, I know you're a believer in God and stuff, but I truly believe if you want to excel, He's setting you up to excel. So
And
mindset's everything, right?
I'm just trying to figure it out because just trying to figure it out. I might move to Houston. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to talk about anything. I just want to.
Yeah,
I'm all action, no talk.
I'd
So
say sleep over it. Just it's still fresh, and you definitely have an action plan. I mean, I got to cut, guys. So,
Oh
listen,
yeah.
I'm real sorry this
it,
happened to you, man.
it's all good.
But just sleep over it. I'm sure, once you get a little bit of a clear mind, you definitely see an alternative solution. Okay.
100%.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right,
All
Ken.
right, guys.
You already know.
Talk to you
Like,
later.
really,
What's up, Rafe?
What's up? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was at the gym. What
No, no, no. You good. You good.
I dove in the middle of a serious combo.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know,
yeah.
man. I'm sorry for crying, but like, fuck,
You're
it's just
good.
like it's just been so much, and then I'm just mentally exhausted. And client check-ins and making routines, it's like, oh. But it's
Life
okay.
too.
Everything is okay. I have everything I need, and I'm grateful. So it's
That's
also
the most important part.
and like Joe mentioned, I'll just keep it short. Like prep gets me close to God, and then post show when all the talk and everything's going on, I draw further away. So it's like the day all this started happening with that girl, like is it's the first time I put my chain on with the cross. Like I'm waking up and I'm trying to be dedicated to God because I know the closer I am to God, the closer I am to my goal of being Miss Olympia. So it's almost like as soon as I just tapped in and locked in again, now I'm being tested. Like, okay, I'm gonna take away your gym. Let's take away your gym and see if you really want this. But I do, and I will figure it the fuck out because I always have. So
And I've noticed every time something like it's like life gets real bad before it gets fucking incredible. It like sets
100%.
you up to want it that bad and to it almost forces you to go to God. It's like without me, try it. But if you rely
Facts.
on me, you're gonna go exactly where you want to go. This is obviously my personal beliefs, but I've watched it come to fruition every fucking time shit hits the fans.
yeah,
Every time.
that's
Bad things and stress is part of the life experience, right? And sometimes it's hard to put it in perspective, but without bad shit, you don't have good shit. Good shit is just the opposite of bad shit, right? Like let's say you're born, you're a baby, and you see your mom. You think she's tall. Well, mom is tall. Then you see your dad. Oh shit, no, that's tall. That right. You need perspective to understand what things are relatively, right? So in 2019, I had the pneumonia. I was in the hospital. I almost died, right? And at the time, you're like, what the fuck, bro? This is I couldn't work. I had to learn how to walk. So it's like, what the fuck? There's no good that could come out of this. Like, what the fuck is this? But it changed my mindset in a way that the next, I would say, from 2020 to 2022, I probably had the best 2 years of my life. Like life was so good. I legit had no stress. I was happy every day. I had everything I wanted, right? But then the weirdest part is your brain is so used to having some stress, you don't know how to respond to that. So it was to the point I started creating my own stress. I literally created
yes,
my own negativity. And this is why we could say in Western culture, people complain so much in general, right? Because life is so good compared to other countries that will sit here and complain about like something small, like shit about politics, like something really minor when people are like getting bombed in other countries, right? So it creates that perspective, and you're like, why did this bad shit happen to me? Then you're like, wow, this is so good. Then you're kind of like, this is so good that I have no complaints, but I'm gonna look for problems, right? So basically, what I'm saying is, bad shit feels horrible at the time, but like Joe said, it sets you up for something good. But the only reason why it feels so good is because you remember when you was down bad, right? If you have $1 million, you've been born a millionaire. You're like, it's just $1 million. If you had some really tough times and you was sleeping in your car and shit, and then you make $1 million, trust me, you're gonna enjoy that $1 million a lot more than the motherfucker who was born into it, right? So you need that shit for perspective, and it sucks while you're in it, but when you get out the other side, is more than worth it. You know, you'll understand why you had to go through that things, or you would have never appreciated it to begin with. That's the truth. You know, so it's all about it. I know people, you know, even let's say people who don't believe in God or don't believe in anything other than just what it is, they sometimes have a hard time. Like when I say something like that, you don't have to take it spiritually or religiously if you don't want. Just take it as however you want to take it. Take it as karma if you want. Take it as whatever force you want to take it as science. I don't know. Take it as science if you want to take it. But whatever you want to take it as is something that happens. It's the law of the universe. Take it like that, you know. And is everything comes with some kind of balance. There has to be balance in life. If it's all good, it doesn't feel good. It just feels like normal. So you create your own issues. If it's, you know, it's never going to be all bad, right? It's always going to be here. And that keeps you alive. That's part of the human experience. And you're alive to even have shit to worry about. If you're dead, you got nothing to worry about, you know? So you rather have some shit to stress about a little bit, you know? So I think we got a little deep there.
No, it's funny, you the one thing you said, like, when shit's going so good, you're like, fuck, it's going too good.
Bro, something will happen.
I needed some chaos. I ain't gonna lie.
So yeah, see, so it's like, but it wakes you up. It's like when you see your check engine light come on, like fuck. Like, what the fuck?
We don't want to admit it, but you need a little chaos to keep you sharp, bro. But I got my whole life has been hustling, grinding. Then I was at a point I'm like, yo, life is good, man. I'm okay out here. And I got lazy. I got content. I didn't have goals. I'm like, I'm cool right here. I'll chill right here for a while. And then shit gets real. You're like, oh, okay, I gotta step my game up again. You almost have to be forced to be put in positions to go hard, right? Like
that's all I'm taking it as, and I'm. This is like the third time this has happened to me, so I am proud of myself for how I reacted, and I learned something from my ex by taking a video. So I have receipts just to prove myself, because I'm not out here like, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm not doing all that. Like, I'm really not, because it's just crazy. No, we're adults. Like, but I could tell he wanted to respond like that, but he was like, that's why he had to walk off and go to his room. Like, you can't even tell me. You can't even stand here and talk to me. That's just the type of I don't know what it is about me, but like, yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. All right.
Questions.
Let's get into questions. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Right. Hit me. Hopefully we got some good ones. Let's see what we got. Okay. More impressive thick. What? That's a weird question. More impressive thick adductors or striated calves?
Neither.
I'll be honest. I never once looked at a person's physique and be like, those are some sick ass fucking calves, or like striated calves.
Whoa. I mean, I look at
size wise,
like that, but
no. I'm sorry. I meant to say the strided. Yeah, the strided. Yeah, big calves are impressive. When I see them, I'm like, damn, those genetic.
I don't know about that one.
Those stock calves? That's what you came with?
How do you travel with your gear? Allegedly. Now, this is not real life. This is just entertainment.
Yeah, just in case.
Because nobody does that. You know? or your TRT, right? How you travel with your TRT?
Put it in the what do you call it? Checking bags.
I guess it depends. I guess it depends where you're going. That always works for me personally. Allegedly, of course, not in real life.
Allegedly, I get a little paranoid, and I'll bring Allegedly, I'll bring one of those, those like those bags where if you pull the ties together, it gets tight. So I'll put a bunch of socks and shit in there. I'll put that in there, and I'll put that in. I'm like, all right, we're good. Just socks,
Allegedly.
guys. Allegedly.
Well, I was going to what's that place in? I think it's in Cancun.
Here you go again. I was going. How about
Alleged.
I knew it, dude.
Allegedly.
I knew it.
Yeah. So my best friend, let's call him Benny.
Baby. Or Benny. Baby.
Let's call him Billy. My best friend my best friend Billy was going to Mexico, and then he asked his other friend, he was like, I could just put this on my luggage, right? And his friend was like, yeah, cool, no problem. So, pack that shit full of Billy, pack that shit full of all types of stuff. And then he got to Mexico. He's like, yeah, this is easy. And then right in front of him, they stop a guy, open his suitcase, and they just go through his suitcase. And I'm like, and Billy was like, what the fuck? And they let the guy go.
If I was Billy, I'd be sitting rich.
So I'm like, fuck. You see, they look and
Billy.
Billy, right?
Are these Benny and Billy? You got two guys here. Who
you saying fuck is reacting to Billy's story, right?
Exactly. As Billy was telling me the story, so in Billy's head, he was kind of like, so they do random stops. So how did that work? They didn't stop Billy though, but they literally missed Billy by one luggage. I'm like, what happens if they see it? But then Billy's friend told him that sometimes they do that just to try to bribe you and be like, oh, what's this? Whoa, no brainer. Give me give me $200. And which of course Billy would have gave him $200 if it came to it, but luckily that didn't happen to good old Billy.
Billy's a baller.
Billy could have went to Mexico and Billy could have bought all his stuff.
That's what I was saying.
That is true.
Oh, Billy.
I'm about a 3-hour drive, so I could just. A lot of people do that. They go down to Mexico and get their stuff.
Oh shit! Yeah, Mexico's right around the corner for me too. I might meet Billy there.
So that would be how you travel with your gear, but some countries are different. I mean, Canada, don't try that at Canada. Tell Billy to chill out with Canada. But most countries, from my understanding, that's what most people do, or they get it from the country. Like if you're like a popular pro or something, I'm sure somebody will have something for you ready. But if not,
isn't gear legal in Canada? You just can't sell it.
Well, most places, right? It's like, well, not here, but I think in UK as well. It's legal to possess, but you can't buy or sell it, right?
Yeah.
But then how the fuck would you? You got to just gift it. You got to only gifts.
I know.
You give it to people
it for free. There's no receipts.
Buy me, just buy me some. I'm gonna give it to free, and then you just give me a gift. Just
if
give
you
me.
sell them, it says gift.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I didn't buy it. It's two different transactions. I gave you the gear as a gift, and you just wanted to pay me for being a good friend. That's it.
What a guy.
Good guy.
Did you do that for Billy?
I did. I did it for the time.
or you're diabetic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, diabetic friends of mine. They might have just had a bottle of insulin that they filled up with Tren. Who knows?
Good point.
And it's a really gold-looking bottle of insulin, but.
I was like, I thought diabetics took tests. That's all my diabetics.
Let's go. Dumbest cycle you've taken. Let's start with Rafe. Let me go get my dog. He's acting funny.
Why me?
What is that?
I've always been very cautious. I'll be honest. I've always been very cautious with my doses and when. But probably when I was 24, I had no fucking clue. It was just getting to where the forums were starting to come out. So unless you knew the big dude in the gym and he was a coach or something, you were kind of like, well, what's Ronnie Coleman's cycle? Or what's, you're just shooting a hip. So I felt like that was I did one cycle in there when I was 24. and it was all over the place. My estrogen and progesterone were all over the frickin' place from DECA. I haven't used DECA since. Let's put it that way. That was like 16
Oh
years.
shit!
But yeah, it threw all my levels off, and felt fine, but never had a problem, at the dicky do. But the nipples really just a lot of progesterone, a lot of estrogen side effects. That's probably as dumb as I went. I've never really done too many crazy things.
You know what just popped in my head? Because this is probably the dumbest cycle I've done was a cycle of pro hormone. Because I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know what I was taking. And I was just being fed it by the dude at the store. And next thing I know, I was,
Go ahead.
I was 19 or 20, but I just know it was like a t-shirt of acne. Like, I was like, and I just completely never touched it. So from that point on, because it was just one bottle, I don't even know what it was called, but it was supposed to be like Anavar.
You could buy it at like GNC and shit, right?
Well, I don't want to throw them under the bus, but Max Fit Sports Nutrition was what sponsored. I did a show, and then like 3 days later, they came and found me at my gym and sponsored me, and then they gave me all this stuff, and then a part of it, they started giving me pro hormones. I was unaware of what all this stuff is. It was just I thought it was safer because you can get it from the shop. And yeah, I did one bottle and it messed me up pretty bad. I had bad acne, never touched anything again. And that's when they got banned. And then the SARMs came out. I've never touched a SARM, but that was probably the dumbest thing I've done.
I will say I did that, and this was like 22 years ago. So it was still in the stores because it wasn't illegal. They just hadn't regulated it yet, right? And so you could actually buy, and it would be like, it would say Sostanon, but it would be spelled different, right? And they would just take a couple of the little parts out, but you got a pretty decent effect, but the sides were ridiculous. Like you said,
Yes.
tons of acne. And kids were doing it and they were just getting fucked up for no reason because they had no regulation, not enough science behind it, not enough studies, and that's why they ended up pulling it. So I will say I agree with you on that one. That shit's nasty.
That was a bad time.
That was a bad time in sports nutrition stores when they were just selling pro hormones like vitamin C.
Like little kids, because I know a bunch of my high school homies would go and get it, and one dude's messed up like lactating.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we had a friend. We used to call him. We still call him Juice, but at the time we were under the impression. I mean, he was too, that he was natural. But we're like, this dude is benching 4th place, man. We in high school. Why are you benching 4th place? And he had a bunch of acne. He grew a beard. We're like, something going on. I'm like, Juice, you sure? You not on juice? Nah, man, natural. But he didn't. Nobody knew. We didn't understand that. It's just crazy that the people who's in charge of that, the fucking FDA, who's in charge of regulating some shit like that.
I think so. That's who banned it.
The fact that they weren't aware of this is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, kids were taking hormones left and right, and the side effects are worse. Are worse than than some of the gear. So
and just because something's on the market doesn't mean it's good for you. Do your freaking research. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like SARMs, and I'm not. If anyone is using them, sorry, but I just feel the same way about the peptides. Like, it's just another pro hormone SARMs peptides. That's all over here in the same category to me. While gear's over here, it's like just
especially the new ones. Like I was just talking about the SLUPP.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were saying.
But the truth is that we don't know the long term effects, right? So what if 10 years from now, something happens to me, like some weird effect. I mean, I guess we gonna find out, and I'm gonna tell people don't do it. I guess I don't know, but
wake up in the morning with a new ear right here in the middle of your forehead.
That's what I'm saying. We don't actually know what's gonna happen. I mean, guys have been on gear long enough that we could look back and be like, okay, I see what's going on, But this we really don't know, So fortunately, we're doing the beta testing.
There's a reason why SARMs never came to market. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Where most all of these testosterons and anabolics have. And they have big research done on them from the 30s, 50s, 60s, all the way up to now. And there's tons of research, tons of people that have used them. They know high doses, they know low doses, so you can at least pull from that and be somewhat safe, right?
100%, 100%. And I also look at it, if you can't get it done with the 10 different anabolics that are out, then it probably is not going to get done.
Probably ain't your sport, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think the whatever pro hormone is going to be or SARM is going to be the fucking Rad 140 is going to set it off for your career.
Well, I coach
When you win the
kids
Olympia.
too, and it's like they're always looking for the easy way out, man. The easy way out is eating 6 to 7 meals a day, training your ass off, and just being consistent. Because there's nothing that you're going to take that's going to make you big as Joe or big as Bitey or as shredded as Alyssa, until you've done your time, right? And they want Instagram fast, quick fix. And I get it. Even I get that. Like, holy shit, why is this taking so long? But you just got to do your time,
Yeah. You can't replace time. I still say every year I average the same amount of muscle mass pretty much every year, regardless if I took more or less, or did something stupid, or it seems to average around the same. That's kind of that's my genetics is that. So if I'm doing everything right, I'm gonna gain this much. You can't really expedite the process as much as you think. The time has to come in. It is what it is. So, right.
And I'd say most of these guys that are like, if you look at me at pictures when I was 12 or 14, and even Joe before he started, we're muscular fucking dudes. We're muscular.
That's what we were talking about before you were on.
Yeah, it's like you just gotta eat and train, and all of a sudden it's like, whoop, and then you're something, right?
Yeah. This is why also like we don't find some of these people. Okay, the goalpost is the standard is so low that we talked about this before. Like somebody with abs and they look like like a guy who just does push-ups, and people are like, oh, he can't be natty, and you're like, really? That's how I look doing sit-ups at home. Like, what are you talking about? But then you'll see somebody like what's the guy's name? I don't know these influencers that well. But somebody, what's that guy that does all those drugs and shit? He looks kind of Asian. I think he's white, but he looks kind of Asian.
Oh, is he out Larry? Or has he been doing something with Larry lately?
I think so. He's kind of tall. What's his name?
Yeah, I just don't remember his name. But I know what you're talking about.
Toby or Togi, right?
Oh, yeah. I think yeah. There you go.
So people are like, wow, what an impressive physique, and I'm kind of like, huh? I'm like, he just looks like a guy at LA Fitness. Like what? I honestly don't. No disrespect to him, I just don't get it. Like the guy takes a bunch of gear and looks like an average guy at LA Fitness, and it's like it's impressive to people, and I'm like, damn, y'all guys' standards is really low. If that's an impressive steroid physique to y'all, this is why they think nobody's natural, because that's what a juiced physique is to them. So what the fuck does a natural physique look like?
I think there's that. I agree with you. There's that real gray area. People have no clue. Like, well, if this dude's on that and that dude's on that, and they're at this, like, everyone is different. You're individually different. But I would say in general, most of the guys I coach, most our buddies, most of we see, we're doing the lower end of the amount to be where we're at. Yeah. The guys that are pushing all this shit, they ain't gonna last long anyway. Once you get there, your bloods are gonna be shit. You're gonna get sick. You're not gonna be able to last in the sport anyway. The guys that have been it long are guys that are genetically blessed, work very, very hard, and are very consistent, and then take minimal amounts.
That's what I was saying on the before you got on early on. I was showing one of these transformations that I put up that went really out there. Right. And how I'm like, it's funny because in that transformation, I'm on gear in the before one. It was when I won the 22 cal. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not taking much more than I was 3 years ago than I am now. But I'm way bigger. I'm like, people laugh at when you say it's the food and the training, and they won't believe you if you say you didn't take a crazy amount to get to where you're at.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know why. But
I don't know what people do behind closed doors, right? But let's take, for instance, let's take Simeon Panda and Andrew Jack, right? They're both about the same height, like 6'1", 6'2". They're both Nigerian, and they might actually literally be the same age. They're both around 37, 38ish, let's say. I don't, but let's say they're around there. One is Simeon goes to zoo, right? He's about 220, 230 at about 9-10% body fat. Andrew is literally 320 at the same body fat, right? So you're saying Simeon's genetics is so shit because everybody said no, he's lying, he's blasting gear. I don't know what he does, but if they're both on gear and one has 100 pounds of muscle on him, are you trying to say Simeon is such a shit bodybuilder that this guy has 100 pounds of muscle on him and they're both running the same cycles, right? It doesn't. If you see him in person, he looks like a basketball player that works out, honestly. Yes, if he's pumped up with the perfect angle, with a Sony camera zoomed in with the lens, yeah, he's going to look a little more impressive. But he looks like a basketball player with a pump is what he looks like.
If you put him on stage, he's going to look stringy.
Oh, yeah. And he was a bit more muscular back then. And he was on stage, and he did not look impressive at all. Not at all. He looked like a guy at the gym that you pick out and put him on stage. That's what he looked like. He didn't look like honestly, with all due respect, he didn't like a bodybuilder. He just looked like a guy who works out on stage. So why is the goalpost that low? That at 6'2", bro, you can't be 220, bro. Are we serious? 220 at 6'2", bro. That's not that crazy.
It's achievable.
That's what I'm saying, because you have abs in a small waist. That's genetics. The steroids don't give you round muscle bellies in the small waist. That's just something you have or don't. Now you take steroids away from Andrew. Shit, I think Andrew would be bigger than 220 pounds naturally, honestly. So both the same race, same ethnic background, same height, similar structure, similar. So it's like, at what point do you, it's a genetic game. You work and you have your genetics, and what it is what it is. Just because you can't look like somebody else doesn't make them a liar or something like that. So
I think Ken put it into a good perspective a couple of episodes ago. He goes, and I've heard other kids talking about and I like this perspective. In 3 years, if you can't make something out of yourself, you're probably going to have to do shit that's too much. You know what I mean? It's probably not going to be worth it. Now, if it's 3 or 4 years and you're always second, you're always like right there, that's a little different. But if you're not even placing top 5, or you're not even getting close, probably do powerlifting or some shit like that. Something you don't have to have a physique for.
Probably won't get that close. And let's say even if you could get there,
what it would take to get there might not be worth it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to kill yourself in the process.
Exactly. Unless you're just having fun. Unless it's just fun, you're having fun, but you're not looking at it like this is your thing, your money maker, right? If you're just having fun, then have fun, for the most part. All right. Let's do a couple more. How do you meet women who are suitable for the lifestyle without being a creep?
You just go walk right up to them and you just say all the shit you're thinking. No, that's not how you do it. I see dudes do that. I'm like, holy fuck, dude.
I think I would appreciate that direct approach if it was respectful.
Yes.
This isn't awkward.
You gotta wait till they get it on the adductor machine and then sit across from them and look straight into their eyes. They love eye contact. Just look straight into their eyes.
The hip thruster, just position your box right in front of that,
and just look dead at them. And when they look at you, make a sound.
Position your box in front of their box.
Yeah. And when they make eye contact back, make a sound. Make it like a real. They like their primal instincts, so do like a growl, like a at them, and then they're gonna love it.
Is that what you like?
No, I was okay. Here's what I like, but this was what Betty does. He just walks around with the dog.
I can't lie.
Get all the bitches.
That does help, especially when he was a puppy. That was a game changer. That was a different ball game. He still pulls some.
I feel like in this day and age, it's like all subliminal. I liked your picture. You liked my story. I DM'd you. like direct, like communicate direct. Hey, can we get a workout in? Think you're cool. I like what you're doing. Like, let's do it. Simple. And
Yeah,
then go
yeah.
from there. See if the person's weird.
And that's literally how I met Melissa at the gym. I had an in. She took her headphone off, and I was very direct. We need to go train at this other place. When are we going? She said tomorrow. I said
Yeah.
okay, and we went. And that's it, man. That's how easy it was.
Simple as that. Simple as yeah. I don't think it's as complicated as sometimes guys make it seem. I think these people just overthink it. It's not that deep. I mean, there's gonna be if there's physical attraction or they're interested in any way, you just introducing yourself and just even if it's small talk, just what's your name or whatever the case is. Oh, shit, it could be how many sets you got left. Oh, wow, I noticed you in here. Are you? Do you compete? Yeah. Oh, you getting ready for the show? Cool. They could literally just be small talk, just getting to the same way you would talk to a guy at the gym. If you didn't know a guy and you were talking to a guy, same way you would talk to him. Maybe not the same exact way, but the way you would just start conversation, you just start conversation. And as simple as that. Or you can just literally be extremely direct, I personally like a little bit of small talk, and maybe the next time I see them, then I'll get their contact information, something like that, when their guard is a little more down, because they're not so caught off guard, So everybody has a slightly different approach, but be straightforward and don't be nervous. Don't act weird. Just talk to them.
I just feel like everybody's so scared of whatever, and so they're, for lack of better words, pussies about it. I don't know.
I think there's definitely like a fear factor there. I don't know where the fear comes from. I don't think if fear, maybe fear of rejection, but that's okay. It's okay to get rejected.
What's the worst thing that can happen? I don't want to talk to you. All right, move on.
Exactly, and most people are polite enough that they don't do it in a rude way. But even if they do, not a big deal. It's okay. It happens. So just approach. Just approach, man.
We're a little more hardcore, Alyssa and I. It's just straightforward. Don't worry.
I had a guy before I got kicked out. I was training shoulders, and like it's just friend stuff. But like I could tell he was watching me because he was like, I was over here, but he was looking in the mirror over here, and he was like, I could tell he's watching me. But I went to the bathroom and I ended up on a bench next to him, and he was like this because my head was down. He got my attention, and I'm a little like on when I train because that's my business. So, anyways, he said, "Can you check my form?" I said, "You know what? Hell yes, I can." And then he was doing some skull crushers. Nothing wrong with his form. And then I just basically did a couple assisted reps and stuff and pushed him. Dapped up, cool. And now we're homies. Like, now I can train him if I need to. He knows how I need to be trained if we need to work out together. Like, but he was direct. Hey, can you check my form? And then we had a conversation. And then he even hit me up like on no awkward shit. Let's go get some tacos. Like, let's chit chat about whatever. And I was like, I fuck with that.
Yeah.
No awkwardness, just direct. Like, and he wants to learn, which I like that. I think that's in anybody attractive is because knowledge is power. So yeah.
So I met wifey at the gym. So for me, I think it's all about timing. Someone will give you the time of day if you're not fucking with their flow of things. So like, I'm not gonna go over and talk to her when she's fucking in between sets and shit, or mid squat or some shit, or like dying on the side. Like, nobody want to fucking talk like that. So yeah, man, I mean, I just play your cards right. Like, don't be dumb.
Yeah.
Where the timing of the approach, like people will give you the time of day if you're not, again, like being stupid about when you fucking time it. So
and for the most part, wait till after they're done training when they're walking to get their shake or clean up. That's how to approach them. Then they got time, and we're not like, I know me, especially in prep. Don't bother me. I'll spot you if you're like, hey, I need to lift real quick, but that's it. I ain't gonna chat about shit.
Yeah. If I'm not feeling super confident or something, maybe I'm feeling a little insecure that day. Maybe I'm deep off season. I feel a little chunky or something. I might throw some testers out there to see the vibe. Walk by, look in her direction. If she makes eye contact, I might be smile a little bit. If she smiles a little back, I'm like, that's a good sign. If she looks at me and kind of goes, then I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't approach. You know, you gotta have some feelers there. You gotta know, hey, like how many sets you got there? If she's like, excuse me, how many sets you got there? I'm gonna be here for a while, okay? I'll be like, okay, man, okay, I'll keep it distance. If she's like, huh? Oh no, you can jump and come on, yeah. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna push a little bit now, But you got, like Joe said, read the room a little bit. If she's fucking just finished squatting 3 plates for set of 10 and she's sitting there lying down sweating, don't go over her. But hey, what's up?
Hey, no, even also, like if she's in the zone, like literally, like if
you could tell
she has the headphones on and she's like bobbing her head to the song, don't fuck with that. She's getting ready to do something. She's in her own world. Like she's not there to make friends that day. Like that's it. Like just read the room.
You could tell. There was a girl that I was trying to talk to, and she was on prep at the time. And I remember I was there with Paul, and we were kind of talking about her. We were kind of looking at her direction. But I was purposely, I kind of wanted her to see just so she could see I was looking. And she looked, and she kind of just looked the other way. I'm like, okay, I'll probably shouldn't approach, which I actually did end up approaching anyways. And it kind of worked out, but you got to know when to do it. So I just approach at a different time. Don't read the room a little bit. Don't say, "Well, she turned around. Let me go get her attention from the other side." You gotta, be smart with it. Be smart at the same time,
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more. That was a good one, actually. I didn't think that would be a good one. So let's look at the weight. Advice for somebody. Advice for someone graduating high school that wants to live the bodybuilding lifestyle.
Train, eat, get a job, make a lot of money, do that for a long time, and then when you have enough money, then compete.
Yeah,
for real.
I mean, you're coming out of high school. You don't need to rush to compete unless you want to get your feet wet for the experience. But then, like he said, job first, and then prioritize training around your job schedule, your cardio too, and eat throughout the day. Simple.
No,
Let it marinate.
Like when you get your feet wet, like I want to approach that with caution because if you don't have no fucking muscle, don't get your fucking feet wet. Have some fucking muscle. Like, don't get your ass in the water. Like get your muscle first, and then get your ass in the water. Fuck.
I don't want to sound. I don't know the person. I don't want to sound rude, but I feel like if you love training, I don't even think this would be a question. I don't think you would ask this question, right? Did you guys ever think of asking this? Like, I worked out because I fucking liked working out, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a matter of like, how do I get into it or how do I live it?
Well, I was a teen nationals winner.
Oh,
so
true.
I was young and I did it. But man, you got to make some money. I worked my ass. I think I was at Gold's Gym, so I trained 4 hours in the morning, then I had 4 hours off, and I trained 4 hours at night. And I would do my training either in the middle of the day or at night, but I was working 5 or 6 days a week. And man, I was living at home. That was barely enough money to pay for gas, supplements, and a plane ticket to get to nationals,
Yeah. Well, the benefit of bodybuilding at that age, funny enough, because you need money, it's more motivation to make money, right? Because me wanting to get into bodybuilding, I was like, I remember thinking, I need money. So then I wanted to work, and I would stay and work overtime, right? At that age, why would I want to work overtime? I want to go home, but because I'm thinking, whoa, I could make pay and a half, or that's going to be good for, I could buy that supplement. I could buy the pro hormone from GNC now, So then I would work whatever. Oh, you need somebody to cover this shift? I got you. So I found myself hustling harder because I wanted to make money for the sport that if I wasn't a part of, maybe I would have been lazy. Maybe I would have been like, I want to go party or something like that. So,
and I also think there's this misconception that once you win a couple shows, you're going to be paid for. Everything's going to be taken care of. And even 20 years ago, it might have been a little bit easier, but it still wasn't the case. And especially nowadays, I mean, you can have an influencer that doesn't even bodybuild that can make a hell of a lot more money influencing and being sponsored. So to win a couple shows, to feel like you're going to be sponsored in this sport and be living the C-bomb and Nick Walker lifestyle at 24 years old probably ain't going to happen. That's a 1 in a million, 1 in a billion, right? It's a smaller.
The worst thing you can do is what I definitely did. I was obsessed with this idea of having a sponsorship. Oh my God. Cause you think it's so special. Look at me. I won the Brooklyn Grand Prix, bro. You know me, sponsor me, bro. Muscle Tech, bro. And it's like, nobody gives a fuck, bro. But in your head, you feel like, like you'll get to a point where that's gonna happen eventually. But for some reason, when you're new, that idea, because at the time I'm watching Cody Montgomery, I'm like, well, he's 20 years old. Oh yeah, he could do it. I could do it. Yeah, I want to be with Blackstone, which is funny because he's Blackstone, but I want to be with Blackstone too, right? It's like 20 years later. but still,
20 years later, exactly.
But now he's like, what did you say? Now he's an NPC competitor because he hasn't competed in 3 years.
Isn't it crazy how that happens, man? It's crazy how things happen and time flies. But I remember being obsessed with this idea of all these people should sponsor me. Like, why would they sponsor me? Why? They're not. They have. Why would they do that?
For your 150 followers that you have in your hometown.
Yeah. But oddly enough, I did get sponsored by WFN, which they were selling. It was a TRT clinic. Yeah, okay. It was selling gear, motherfucker. But I did get a sponsorship, so I was getting free gear, which was cool. But that was just more personal because the owner was from the Bronx and they was just supporting people from the Bronx, I guess. But that's actually pretty cool. But I wasn't appreciative about it. I thought I deserved it. Yeah, Brooklyn Grand Prix went over here, boy. Better sign me. So I thought they were supposed to, yeah, you better sign me, bro. Yeah, you know who you talking to. So it's funny how in hindsight I'm like, I didn't deserve that. I can't do anything from that company. Like, what the fuck did I do for them? I didn't do shit. So
but
you gotta just.
It's super expensive. I mean, especially for the females divisions. Starting off, I think the female divisions are more costly because suits are up to $1,800 a suit. Yeah. You got hair and makeup. You got tanning. Where dudes we got $30 to $60 trunks.
Yeah.
Some oil on. We're on stage.
Yeah.
As you get bigger, obviously, food costs and other things cost way more.
I was gonna say, we bite the bullet.
You're big, it's not cheap.
Hey, but that makeup. The bedazzles and the shit, even Primo and VAR, that's the expensive ones, man. That's the master.
No, that's funny.
Right?
I didn't think about that. That's true.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta that's the thing. So I mean,
but I'm talking like 18 to 20-year-old, most of those guys and gals, they're gonna be smaller divisions, and girls is just like, holy shit, these girls gotta roll up $4,000 to get ready for a show, or some of the dudes I'm doing, it's like, we're there, bud. Here's $100. You're good to
go. Yeah. Oh man. All right, we've been on for how long now? Like 2 hours. You guys want to do one more, or we good there?
We can do one more.
One more. All right. Let's see.
If my phone dies, I'm still here. I'm hanging on. I'm hanging on for dear life.
If it dies, it dies.
If it dies, it dies. I'm thinking the same thing. If it dies, it dies.
It dies, it dies.
Okay. How bad would you could a teenager on gear, or coach maybe you're trying to say, you coach a teenager on gear? Stu's favorite thoughts on gear at a young age? It's too many questions in one. I don't really understand. Okay, I guess would you coach a teen on gear?
No,
I wouldn't either.
I mean, is he insinuating he's already on gear when he got to you? That's a risky one. I don't know about
I wouldn't want my name behind it.
It's not my responsibility. I didn't do that.
Well, there's a reason they also a year ago 18 plus now, right? So you're only for a year or two. Back when I was a kid, you could see dudes that were 14 and be like, "Holy shit, bro, you're a monster!" Plus those acne. That's the different type of acne there. You know what I'm saying? And like, that ain't healthy. I think a dude should max out his natural potential, Joe, you're a pretty good example of this. You know, max out your natural potential before you even think about it. You know.
Now, the teen is a wide spectrum. If a 17-year-old comes to me and his birthday is he wants to compete. Well, he can't compete till he's 18 anyways, right? So if he wants to compete in September and he wants to start prep now in, I don't know, July, and he's like, I want to do the show. Yeah, he's going to be 18 by a show and he's already on cycle. I would help him, allegedly. I don't know if you can do that legally, but allegedly, I'm gonna send him to Billy. Billy will coach him.
Yeah, for me, I just don't feel like it's a 1 in a million chance for that person is actually gonna take it to the level like we talked about in the beginning. Like there's stuff that we learned fundamentally, like being natural for so long. We learned about diet and training and maximizing those things before even thinking about gear. So it's like
For sure.
you're gonna put this kid on these hormones, like we don't even know if they're gonna do the shit that matters. So it's like
They probably won't.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I wouldn't feel good in my own like gut to do that. Like I wouldn't feel good about myself doing that shit.
Well, and
oh, my fault.
I'm just saying, like, there's the other side of it.
Exactly what I'm gonna say.
These other compounds have such an effect here, and when you're 17 years old, you haven't even started dealing with this, right? And especially in the world we're in now. I mean, I'd say it's more like 30 years old nowadays. You know what I mean? Like literally.
To be honest.
I know, Beatty. You do know the Anthony Mantello kid that just turned pro? Okay, so he made a video, and he basically said he was quitting bodybuilding. And I don't know if I was listening to Greg Doucette's video or his, and I think it was Greg's, but he mentioned basically how he can't even do normal stuff like fold laundry or do the dishes without getting angry, and because the gear and bodybuilding, like
retire. Don't bodybuild. If you feel like that, bounce.
What? Sound like you need a good excuse.
Again, I don't know. I was in background noise, but I was just like, I get it. I get frustrated too, but I'm like 2 weeks out, like 1 week out, but I also know how to deal with things without quitting bodybuilding because of the dishes or.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. I don't think you should be bodybuilding if you feel that strongly about it, you know. But I thought Ralph was gonna say the opposite because Joe said he didn't feel comfortable coaching somebody at that age in that way. But my only thing is that if they're already on it, they're gonna do it by themselves if you don't help them. So in my head, I'm like, maybe it doesn't mean they will listen to you because you could coach them, they can still take 3 times the amount. My only thing is that if I let them do it on themselves, that could potentially be more risky, you know. The truth is they're probably gonna take way more than you tell them anyways, if they're that kind of person.
That is what I do. But you preface 17-year-old and no with the 17.
Yeah, if
they're 18, 19, 20, they've been on it. Yes. Okay, bro, we're going to clean this shit up. We're going to take the break. We're going to get the bloods. We're going to walk you through it. I want to see 3 months of training in this and diet and consistency. I want to see check-ins. Then we can start dabbling back in it because I know they're going to do it. But a lot of times they'll listen to you if you have the status you have. They see who you are. They watch you. You're leading from the front, right? And then absolutely, I do guide these guys because, like you said, they will do it and they will do it retardedly. They will do it the wrong way. Yeah. So having that guidance is fine, but not with 17.
That's a big stretch. Yeah. I mean, younger than that, shit. I mean, if you come,
they're out there, but
just because you're 17, don't resort to SARMs.
No, that's even worse.
Like I feel like that's what. Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to ask about, didn't Nick Trigili start when he was 14? Isn't that what he says? Was it 14?
I don't remember.
That's crazy. I mean, he definitely started in high school. I don't remember age.
I want to say it was 14. I think he said 14. I couldn't believe that shit.
Bro,
both his parents were bodybuilders. Little bit different. Not necessarily better or good, but a little bit different.
Can you grow pubic hair, bro, at 14?
I mean, I was started to pretty much
barely.
But like,
I think
I wasn't bushing out.
Bro, 14. 14 is wild. What the fuck was I doing at 14? I,
You're in
I
like
can't.
ninth grade.
I can't
You don't even have
imagine.
you get your driver's permit at 15.
I mean, there's some
How,
corn-fed dudes out there that are monsters, and I've seen them. They're like, "You're
They're
fucking 14," but
yeah.
most of us aren't.
how do you wait? How do you even
I was
manage
a little
that?
monster,
Yeah.
tiny monster.
Okay, well, back then, I guess it's different. Back then, so you were going to Western Union at 14.
No shit,
You
right?
know,
Like no shit.
like, hey, $400, and they're looking at you like, why the fuck is this kid at Western Union sending
Going
money
to
to China?
Moldova. Why are you sending that to Moldova?
But the whole
Billy
concept,
told me this. Billy told
yeah,
me.
yeah, Billy, yeah, Billy,
Damn, Billy, scandalous, Billy.
in my in my head, that's so outrageous. I don't even know how you would have how could you even get to do that? You're going home to your mom and you're pinning shit in the room and like I don't at that age it wouldn't I don't know I can't even imagine how that would be possible. I feel like your parents would be like, "What's going on with you, man? You okay? You've been having tantrums and shit and it's just
Tantrums because
I
they're
don't
kids.
yeah
They're
they
going
see
through
blood
puberty.
Yeah.
yeah
Well,
they see
Billy had told me you eat me out of house and home, man. My parents were like, "Where's my food going?"
Bro, like
bro.
I can't even. I can't imagine being that young, shooting that shit, and then dealing with heartbreak. I'd lose it.
Oh my god!
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying. Like this ain't
Think
ready.
about that shit, yeah, bro. Fuck.
my my first cycle was late 18, so I was about to turn 19. I actually tried to get some earlier, but that's the shit. You shouldn't. That's the thing. You shouldn't even be physically able to get it before that because one guy, a bodybuilder, said, "I'm not giving you no gear." I'm like, "Come on, man. I just want to buy a test." He said, "No." I'm like, oh man, like you shouldn't even be able to get it because that's how people should treat you nowadays. I'm sure they'll probably sell it to a 12-year-old.
How much you need?
Yeah, yeah, but the guy was like, nah, bro. He was like, bro, you first of all, you're big already. What you need to stay with? I'm like, I just want to try it. He was like, nah, we're not doing that. He made sure I couldn't get it from nobody from the gym, which is I kind of appreciate that now because the fuck was I, what the fuck?
That's a good dude.
Yeah, yeah, but anyways, yeah, I felt like at that what point was I even making, bro? What was I talking about, bro? I forgot what we were talking about.
You don't need it that early. You don't.
Oh
You
yeah,
really don't.
but I feel like the idea is that I wouldn't even be able to get my hands on it, and then when I did, it was still so early that it was kind of weird, because now I'm in my room or the bathroom shoot. It's just the whole idea. It doesn't make sense really, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't where I needed to be diet wise and trainer wise, anyways. I don't know if you can be. I don't know if it's possible to be in tune with your body enough to even understand that. You think you do, but you can't fully understand training at that point in your life. I don't think anybody does.
So I own I own a couple of gyms, and I'll occasionally get kids that come from other gyms, and then I just hear this talk, right? I hear the chatter around all the gyms and stuff, and I think the new thing right now is people like they're all about this trend shit, shooting
Yeah.
trend, no test. I'm like, guys, if you had any concept, you don't do that, right? But it's big with the young kids, and I'm just going, can you imagine 14 years old, get a bottle of trend, you're like, get the trend cough right in the middle of the bathroom, you're like fucking dying on the floor. Your mom got
Yeah.
rid of that. Like, who the fuck knows, And that's scary ass shit.
That was what I was getting to. Even at 19, psychologically,
No.
like right now, if I'm on cycle, I feel the same. Maybe I could be maybe a little more emotional, not angry, but just a little more emotions. But at that time, at 19, like Joe said, even dealing with women, my brain wasn't. I just wasn't where I needed to be. I would just do stupid shit,
You
just
slam
stupid shit.
you slam three monsters and do stupid shit. Can you imagine having tested that?
Exactly.
For real.
Okay.
Shit.
Or when I was bouncing, I started bouncing at like maybe 20, maybe 19, 20. And same thing, I would take Red Bulls to stay up at night. And something about that Red Bull mixed with that D-ball or Anadrol, oh, that would set me over the top, man. It would set me over the top. It's just
You were a good bouncer.
I was like I had no chill button. But the head of security, he used me like a caged animal. He would keep me away from the action. But anytime something happened, he called the radio. He knew I would be the first one there because I just wanted some action. Yeah, I wanted to fight somebody. So he would use me at the time where he needed. If he needed to be professional, he would keep me away from it. Go to the door, bro. Get away from me. But if he needed some shit to just go crazy, he'd be like, "Oh, it's time. Let him go." Fucking 20-year-old on fucking on Anadrol and Red Bull. Let him go, bro. Let him do his thing, man.
That's
one time.
crazy.
One time we had a prom after party, and these high school kids, they're big kids. They don't look like children, you know. And when they start fighting, they don't understand real life, so they don't fight like adults. They fight like children. So they using glass and throwing furniture, things that adults wouldn't do. So we had a couple of young bouncers, and he let us go. He was like, "Go get them," because he didn't want the older bouncers fighting the kids. So he let the kids fight the kids. And we beat the shit out of these kids. Which we don't care. I graduated like 2 years ago, bro. We're the same age. We can fight. So we fucked these kids up, and they kind of deserved it, bro. They can get a reality. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. Like early on, I loved to party and drink too, so my liver and kidneys would have been done.
Oh yeah, I was drinking back then too. At that point, but
Yeah,
this is why
throw all that on top because you hadn't gone through enough life yet, so you're just doing everything. I had a buddy. Yeah, he was 20, and he was one of those guys. Fuck, man, the dude was an untrainable animal.
Is he still alive? You said you had a buddy.
I don't know, man. It was 17 years ago in Colorado when I lived there, so I didn't stay in touch with him. Yeah. Oh, her phone died.
Hopefully, Rap's old buddy is still alive and kicking it in Colorado.
Maybe doing the same shit. Some people just different. Some people just don't survive, man.
On his second kidney, probably doing it again. Who knows?
Yeah, some people have no quit in them, even in these shit, you know. But
people got genetics that'll last that long too.
That's true.
Yeah.
But thank y'all for coming on, man. I appreciate talking to y'all. It's always
sorry I was late.
No, you're good. It's always hard to get up sometimes in the morning and set up a podcast, but every time I do it, I feel better. But I just you get lazy. Off season when your weight is heavy, bro, you don't want to do shit, bro.
I'm over it.
Is that where you're at?
Yeah, we finally pulled back my food, so like I have zero appetite. Like the thought of food is just disgusting to me. I went to a Korean barbecue with Ashley the other day or yesterday, and she out ate me. Oh, I can't even fucking. Yeah, man, I'm over it. My body's like, no more, Joe. You fat fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
you just get to kind of maintain and slow.
Yeah, I have 4 weeks left, and he pulled the food back finally. So I'm just cruising the last 4 weeks. Not cruising, but like, we're not trying to push food no more. That's it. I topped off at 297.8, like in the morning, few days or like last week somewhere, and I'm back down like 295 this morning.
And so he's doing Mayish.
May, yeah. So that's when I'm supposed to start prep as well.
Okay.
So
I'm honestly debating on starting prep February 1st, just because I feel like if I just keep pushing it, I feel like at some point nothing good is going to come out of it because everything is so overloaded, bro. Everything is so saturated that it's like, am I really going to get more out of it? I don't know.
Well, your last check-in pics you posted, I have seen improvement. Your legs are coming up.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Training smarter. I can't. The training feels harder, but there's different kinds of hard. It's harder for my legs, but my nervous system isn't as shot. If that makes sense.
Oh no, that's what I switched to last year because I was too dang broken. Just slowed everything down, and
Oh,
then my weights came back up to those weights I was doing before, but not as much pain.
yeah. Me and Paul have finally like let go of the heavy shit, bro. Like, because I've said it on the podcast in previous episodes. I did that 7-plate Smith squat, and my knees have not been the same since.
Dude, it only takes one day, man. And it takes like 3 reps, so you can fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get injured enough, but I was like, man, that took a toll. That it was like, oh, it'll go away. Shit, this isn't going away. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting to that point where the mileage is mileaging.
And it's more like, you could get more out of 4 or 5 plates, nice and controlled for a couple like just slow it down. Man, that burn is intense. It's almost like you get to rep 8 and you're like, holy fuck,
Even leg extensions, bro. Like, I don't have to stack that bitch all the time. Like, I can like squeeze real hard, control the tempo, and like still get a fucking crazy pump out of 15 like slow and controlled reps. And I feel fucking incredible. I have a better pump than if I did heavy shit. But it's like trying to get me out of that, like, well, I've been here, so I need to stay here, or at least, like it's a mind fuck.
I also think it's just being a male, a dude that wants to. We love to lift, and it's like, yeah, the weight's cool, but it starts knocking notches out of you a little bit at a time. You're like, you know what?
That's the shitty part too, right? You start to feel good. Like, oh, now that I feel good, let me see what I can fucking do.
Right.
And as soon as I do that, the next day I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? I was finally feeling fucking incredible.
That's when you fucked up.
Yeah,
so I've been preaching how I removed my knee wraps so I couldn't go as heavy. Because when I throw the knee wraps, I know I'm going to tell myself I'm going to control it. I throw those knee wraps on and I go ballistic. Then I'm like, more plate, and then I just so I took when I take off the knee wraps, I have to go slow because I can't just I can't just go down in the hole fast. I got to go super slow because if not, something's gonna go. So I had to lighten the weight. But now, even with that form with no knee wraps, I'm getting stronger to the point I'm getting back to the numbers I used to hit with the knee wraps.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But the only thing that's starting to concern me now, I'm getting a knee pump. So I'll get a knee pump during the workout.
Never had a knee pump.
Literally, I've been getting knee pumps, but then now the knee pumps stay a day or two after. Then I'm like, is my knee swollen? And I'm like, it kind of is. So then now I'm like, okay, maybe I got to maybe somewhere down the middle, get a knee sleeve, maybe some shit.
That's what I use. The gas knee sleeves are pretty badass, those orange and black ones, because they're tight, but they're not too tight, so you can wear them.
You can leave it on.
They have some give. Are they super stiff or they have some give?
They're not like the SBD or the Inzer fucking where you barely.
Oh, okay.
No, but the orange and yellow ones that gas sells for the knees, they have the neoprene ones too, but the orange and black ones, the striped orange and black, they're stretchy, but they're definitely thick, and so it keeps heat on your knee and does give a little support. And I also roll up the bottom inch so it's right under the patella tendon, give it a little pressure right there. You ever seen Eddie Hall? He always wears like that strap right on his patellar tendon just to hold it.
Yes.
So when I roll my sleeve up, I feel a little bit more support there. But for me, it's like just keeping the warmth in the knee and just a little pressure so you're conscious, but not like a knee wrap pressure,
Something, yeah. The knee wraps, I'll go crazy. But now, now with no knee wraps, it's still heavy enough that I still get a little bit more information that I want. I don't want that much information in my knee, so I gotta find the medium. But it's been working, man. My legs never looked this big or pumped and shit. So
that's what I'm saying. I noticed. I see them.
Thank you, man. So you gotta get better at what you do, and if you keep doing the same shit, you're probably not getting better, right?
And that's the frustrating part. It's like, at this level, I know exactly how I'm supposed to train, like how to not get pain. I just get caught up in my own bullshit. I'm like, why the fuck do I do this? I'm better than that. Like, fuck.
For sure, yeah, because I could argue that if I just take more time in the hole, I might not need the sleeves. But I can only take so much time in the hole before I get bored, man. That shit is boring as fuck. Fucking
I stay in
5
the
seconds.
I stay in the hole. I don't pull out.
You've proven that.
Yeah,
And I'll do it again. Fuck it.
you got that. You got that down pack, yeah. But training has to get
Professional.
better, and you gotta leave your ego at home. It's not like an ego for anybody else. It could be an empty gym. It's more of ourselves that we have to prove something to ourselves to feel like we're training hard. We don't want to feel like we're taking it easy. It's just we're not capable of doing that. We got to give it everything. So there's different ways of doing it. So it's just, shit is going well. But yeah, I was saying that I kind of want to start the diet first, so I feel like I'm gonna keep a better focus that way. But at the end of the day, it's what's gonna give the best final result is always gonna be the best way to go
I
about things.
started a couple weeks early last prep.
Okay.
Dude, I'll do it every time now. So all I did was basically just introduce the cardio a little bit heavier, more intently, and just cut out the pre meals. And then so your body starts working that way, and then they're little cuts. So you're not just cramming all that hard cardio. You're exhausted toward the end there. So by the time 4 weeks out came, I was like, we were starting to back off cardio because the body was doing its own thing. And then, you know what I mean? Like it just felt so much better.
Justin does that every time. I mean, it's called the cleanup period. He says, "Hey, we're gonna clean things up." Yeah, just because it he usually does it for about a month, about 4 weeks. And what it does is it kind of puts you in that mode. Like you slowly, because there's no stress behind prep yet. Like, so you gradually ease yourself into prep and you're already like, your motor units are like, okay, I'm already used to this. This is my new routine. And then that becomes easy.
Well, and then it's like you could, if your birthday's in there and it's still 8 to 12 weeks out, you can have a meal. You know what I mean? You're ahead of the game. You're ahead. That's also a little break in the middle.
Yeah,
it's always better to be ahead. I want to ask you guys something. Let me ask Joe first. Do you think that you could ever coach yourself even after you have the formula down packed, or it is more of like a mental relief thing?
Okay, so could I coach myself? Of course, but would I bring my best look? Probably not. I'm hard on myself, so I think I would burn myself out before bringing a better look. Because I coached myself my first show pretty much when I was natural, and then and I got in shape. But when I asked at the last 4 weeks, I asked Casey for help because I didn't know the peaking process. But pretty much, I ended up looking how I would have looked if I would have done it myself. It was just, I didn't understand water manipulation and stuff. But when it came to the gear side of things, I wanted to coach because I didn't want to do no crazy cycles and I know what I was doing. And then it's like knowing that now, I can coach myself, but I still think that I wouldn't. I feel like your eye is skewed towards the end, and like you don't see yourself for what's really there. You never feel like you're ready enough. But like, say for example, having my coach, he pretty much will reassure me it's okay to pull back or to eat a little bit more here or there, we're on track, so I don't have to speed things up because I'm not seeing things clearly, kind of thing. So I just feel I need that second set of eyes because if I stress out about it, my look's going to deteriorate. So I'll stress myself out. I will.
For me, I look at it like, if I really want to win, or do I think I could challenge myself to coach myself? I think I could coach myself, but I think I would really pick the coach because I think I'll win 100% more. You know what I mean? I'll win. It'll just give me that little cherry on the top, right? For me, it's a little bit opposite. Like, I'll get toward the end, I'm like, fuck, I'm looking pretty good and I'm fucking starving. So let's go have 3 cheat meals. That's my issue. I'll eat more and probably not show up tight enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just having them watch, because it gets crazy those last 4 weeks. Your body is either going to pull really hard and you got to keep it up. And that's usually what happens. But, I might justify an extra 3,000 calories here and there where, the coach is like, yeah, just hold on for a day,
Facts,
So.
yeah. I guess that's like could
Jordan have won 6 championships without Phil Jackson? You know, maybe I don't know. Maybe 4, maybe 5. Who knows? I mean, but you don't want to take almost like you don't want to take that risk, right? Why not?
It's a
If you have
sacrificial
access
show,
to that,
right? It's a
yeah.
sacrifice. Like it's a test. It's like, okay, you're gonna really go through all this shit and find out if you can do it or not. I don't know. Like,
Is that worth it once you
yeah,
spend all that time and money to try to do something? You know what I mean? It's yeah. And you know, and like you said, the coach is there for more than just the food. It's like, hey, bro, you're on track. This is the best you've looked. Or hey, we need to dive a little deeper here. We have enough time. Let's get it done. And I think that's what makes the best coach, right? And how many athletes have they put on stage? So if you have a really good coach like we do, they've done thousands of athletes. They've seen it. And then they've worked with you long enough. They probably know to a certain degree just as much as you do about your body or a little bit more sometimes, depending on the show, depending on the situation, right? So
That's true. That's true. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all.
Wednesday, y'all gonna be on Wednesday
I should be.
or Sunday?
yeah,
Okay.
I should be too. I should be.
All right,
Should be.
perfect. Oh, should be. All right.
I was really tired the other day, so
It's okay. If you can't make it, I can always reach out to Billy to hop on.
Billy's got it.
Billy and
Such a
Betty.
good guy.
Yeah, Billy, great guy like Billy, man. All right, y'all.
All right,
Y'all,
guys.
All right, guys. See ya.
Later.